You are listening to the Mountainside Podcast, and joining us back in studio is my good friend Dustin Jacoby. Dustin is currently a top-ranked UFC Light Heavyweight who is quickly climbing the ranks for a potential title shot. He has had an extensive career in mixed martial arts, fighting at the highest levels in Glory Kickboxing, the UFC, and multiple organizations. But above all that, Dustin is an incredible person and friend. I always enjoy spending time with him. We spent the morning at the archery range, then rolled in here to record this episode. It was a great time, and I hope that you enjoy our conversation. All right. Let's just dive right into this motherfucker, yeah? All right. Dustin Jacoby back in the Mountainside house. New studio?
The studio is super dope, man. I love it. We've had a hell of a day. First time back in here in probably a year or so, close to, maybe not quite that long. Yeah, but it is a new studio, and yeah, we've been shooting bows today. And
what a fucking epic morning, man.
Dude, we've had a great day. Even a couple of CL smoothies deep. And cheers. By now, cheers, my man. Let's get it popping.
Yeah, I think we met. God, I don't know. It was like 7:30 this morning, or
yeah, we met at 7:30. Yeah, a little bit before.
So we've been hanging out all day since.
And
like,
we
you
went
probably didn't even see your wife, right? This morning. Like...
No, I did. My wife, she's an early riser, so we were up, we were chatting, we were moving. She was getting ready to go for a run. She's big into running now, so she decided she's going to sign up for a half marathon. Oh, and this has been a week now, and my wife, when she goes all out, she goes all out. So every day she's got this schedule, she's got this diet that she's following, this running program, this training program that her friend Mary, Colin England. I don't know if you know Colin England. He fought.
We talked about him a little bit today, right?
Great dude, Colin and Mary.
He's a big hunter too, right?
Not
or is this
so much.
Somebody else? Okay,
yeah,
I'm getting
it'd be somebody
confused.
else. Anyway, his wife's a big runner. Kayla's hooked onto running now, so she was up getting after it today. But yeah, we met first thing this morning and went up to the American Bowman Club, which is
what'd you think? Honest opinion.
Unbelievable, man. If you're prepping, if you actually go hunting and you're prepping to go out there and get an animal, you're walking through the mountains. It's a mountain course. You're going station to station, shooting in between trees, like a 8-inch gap a couple different times.
There's some tough shots in there, man. Shout out to Scott Enrich. We've had him on the podcast. He's the president up there, and he kind of directs the course and how it's set up. And it's set up.
Oh, bro. So for the people that don't know, I have been bow hunting, I think, 4 years. So this will be my third year. Last year, I got a brand new bow. Unfortunately, was not able to go. I had a fight right around that time frame. We moved into a new house in September.
You got called out of elk camp last season,
That was
right?
a couple years ago. Yeah, that was 2021.
Shit, that was the last time you were in then,
That was 2021.
Yeah. Time flies, dude.
That was the first time.
Oh, okay. Was it?
No, that was the second time.
Second time.
Yeah. That was the second time. But yeah, time flies, man. That was the last time I was on this podcast. And anyway, went out there to shoot this morning. The first shot, the first hole, if you will, target, is like a little.
We call them stakes. So
okay,
not
the
holes,
first stake.
Yeah.
You see, I'm a golfer, so
yeah.
we played 20 holes today.
But it's similar to golf a little bit,
and I
right?
shot a 148, which is not good in golf terms, but
in archery terms up there, it's
archery,
pretty damn good,
decent.
Dude. For as little as your bow is set up and as little experience, or is not experience, but as little reps as you
absolutely
have.
right. That's what I'm saying. So
like
where
you
I was
don't
going
shoot your
with this.
bow every day like I do, and I only
No.
shot a 180 or something, right?
Yeah, I think you beat me by like 40 or so, or not quite a full 40. But that's where I was going with this. Is I've only been hunting 3 years with a bow. And the first target out there today was between like an 8-inch gap in a tree at like 25 yards. It was a squirrel. I'm like, hold on, this is what we're doing today?
This isn't what I signed up for.
So, but it was super cool to set up. We're tracking through the mountains. We've got elk that we're shooting at, caribou, a pheasant, squirrel, badger, bears.
Dude, there's nobody out there. You and I didn't run into anybody until we got back to the truck.
Right.
I think like.
Super cool, man. I highly recommend it. Unbelievable spot. So thank you very much for bringing me. I get to do a lot of cool shit because of the cool people I know. So thank you. That was awesome. I can't wait to go again.
Well, the feeling's mutual, man. Like I always say this, you can have all the cool shit in the world, but if you can't share it with anybody, what's the fucking point? Really,
for sure, man.
So like, I love taking people up, especially if it's their first time up there, because I get just as much enjoyment out of seeing them enjoy it as I do. Like that shot across the creek at the mountain lion, and
that was dope.
The 50-foot cliff, and like it's epic.
Yeah, are you gonna bring up some video, or is there a way to?
Yeah, Jeremy's got it right here.
Oh, already? Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
Just go to. Well, you were posting live. I haven't.
Yeah, so it should be on my live feed.
I'm more of a like live in the moment type of person, to where I try not to let social. I really try to take it in the moment. I've had to learn personally, and then I post it to social media like a few days later. So like my feed isn't like what I'm doing right now. Because I've had it bite me in the ass a couple times where people have found me.
Gotcha. No, I get that.
You know, like
see, I take it. I'm the same way, but kind of a different perspective. Like
nobody's gonna find us up there.
I'm a story guy. I'll post a story. I'm like that's what I'm doing in the moment, and then it's gone. Like I don't make too many posts.
Yeah,
you don't see what I'm doing. So then it leaves people like you get to see what I'm kind of doing right now. But and then it's just a thing of. It's history once it's over.
If you just go to Dustin Jacoby's.
Yeah, but it wasn't loading.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, that's why I was just. I just flipped it over to here. I'm gonna see if I can.
I mean, this was just a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, I know.
So click on his profile.
There you go.
There we go. I just had to go like around the other way.
So you want to go? Yeah, you want to go back a few. Hell, bring it back to yesterday if you really want to back it up.
Let's do it. What'd you do yesterday, dude?
I was playing golf, man.
No
Imagine
shit.
that. I played Red Rocks Country Club. I tell you what, I'm putting it out there right now for everybody to hear and see. I'm going to be a member of that country club one of these days. One of these days, sooner than later, I believe. Red Rocks Country Club. Absolutely love the course. First time playing it. If you watch this video right here, we get down towards the end, and you just see these deer chilling on the course, and there was a couple nice bucks. And going back to hunting, a big muley buck is the one thing that I haven't taken out yet. So that's on a bucket list of mine.
Did you pass that buck this morning that they were dragging off the road? It was
No,
like a
no.
200-inch deer in the velvet.
Oh, no
still.
way.
I was like, fuck.
Wow.
I always get heartbroken when I see them
for
on the
sure.
side of the road.
Oh,
you guys got music and everything, dude.
Oh yeah, the who blasting. So this is starting our day. I don't know. This is probably stake 7 or 8.
I think that's 10 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got a bighorn sheep down there. How far? 50 yards?
Well, it ranges at like 30 yards, doesn't it? But it's like a 50-foot cliff that you're shooting off of 60 feet.
And by the grace of God, I mean, I think we aided this one. I think we both put it.
We both had kill shots.
Definitely kill shots.
It was in the vitals. And it's bedded to make it even harder. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
So this was my first one that got put on video, shooting across the creek here. And you hear my man say that did hit foam. It did hit foam, but it hit the leg. It was a little bit low, so
it'd have been one pissed off mountain lion.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I felt bad about that one.
I got to send you the other videos because I got videos of you today. I don't know if you noticed, but I was filming you shoot off the cliff, so I'll send those to you.
Yeah, I did it.
I should do it right now.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah, but I will send them to you, and it's just beautiful up there, man. Like wildflowers everywhere, and it's literally peace and quiet. It's probably 10 or 15 miles off a highway, so you don't have any of that noise. Like the only thing you hear really that's man-made going by is airplanes every once in a while, you know, like, and that's about it, dude. Other than that, squirrels and fucking birds. And
oh, it's super cool, man. So first day
pause
ever,
this real quick, Jeremy, for a second.
First day ever shooting my bow 100 yards. I don't even have a pin for 100 yards. My man here, I think we shot 6 arrows apiece. He was 6 for 6, and probably 4 kill shots, and had a pin for 100 yards. I had to totally guess. I think mine goes out to 60.
Dude, you were literally aiming at the sky.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I was like, here we go, bombs away.
It's like do you remember the, was it Tootsie Pops thing? You know, where the little Indians like shooting out the star on the wrapper?
I don't remember that, but
well, you have to see it, but it looks
it.
just like it. It's like a perfect picture, dude.
So yeah, I shoot. I'm 1 for 5. I hit the leg again, and the other 4 are way short. Don't even come close to the target. We pull out the phone. He's like, man, I got to get this on camera of you shooting at 100 yards, you know, just for the people, for proof. And I'm like, cool. So this is that video. First time the camera comes out. Again,
Well, we were gonna send it to Cam, right?
Yeah. That's, I would love to, man. Be like, hey,
Let's
this
do
is
it.
what I do over and over again. Only when the lights are on. When the lights, camera.
Well,
action.
it was funny because we weren't doing that good until we turned the camera on, or you were. You
then
turned the camera on. You
man.
fucking had shot better than I did, and I got the setup to shoot at 100 yards.
Yeah, so we go ahead and pull this back and first recorded 100-yard shot was a kill shot.
100
100-yard shot with the Hoyt, of course. With the Hoyt. See if we can't get a Hoyt sponsorship. I even called my shot, so I'm going to put it right through the vitals here. First shot. Again, bombs away.
Boom.
Get it?
So I was filming and watching through the binoculars.
That's impressive.
So I saw the arrow drop right in, and I knew it was a kill shot. So I was like, yes, dude, I was so stoked. It's so much fun.
And we're walking up, and sure as shit, man. Right chair. That's right chair.
That's a solid 8, almost a 10, dude. Yeah, you were just outside of the 10 ring on that.
Yeah, we would have taken that one home.
Kill shots, my man.
Hell yeah.
That was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for bringing me out there. I can't wait to do it again.
Dude, I had such a blast. I had just as much fun as you did. I mean, I fucking love going. I love going up there by myself.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And
like you said, we didn't run into
reset.
anybody until we were getting out of there. We saw a couple people, and
I hardly see anybody up there.
I think you said there's 150 members.
I think it's somewhere around there. It might be a little bit more. Maybe they opened it up to a few more. I don't know. I haven't been to like one of their. They have meetings, and there's some guys up there. I mean, you see how well that course is taken care of.
Yeah,
and it's taken care of by the members, which is super cool. That's like today when we crossed that target and it was kind of falling over. We took a few minutes to fix it, right?
Totally.
Because you fix it for the next guy, and like
you were
I would
picking up
expect somebody
arrows
to do that for me.
No
and
doubt.
We found a couple arrows that weren't ours. We returned them back to the shack, and
That was super cool.
you know, it's kind of that's the type of people that are up there, and I feel like where else? I mean, it's really hard to find that in America these days, dude.
For
People
sure.
that just fucking care about one common thing
Themselves.
and are all vested, right? Like.
All those dudes put their carts away.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Yeah,
they
totally.
do.
The lowest.
Yeah, in today's
lowest
world,
thing that
everybody
you can
just they're just concerned with themselves and what they have going on and just selfish. Like this club, man, yeah, you pick up after each other and you just leave it better than how you found it. And that's
100%.
the big thing about hunting, right? Anytime I go hunting, anytime I go camping, my entire goal is to leave that place better than how I found it. And a little bit goes a long way. A wrapper here, an arrow there, putting it back in place.
Dude, we didn't see one piece of trash up there.
No, man.
I mean, the thing about it is, too, is like those guys go up there on the weekends sometimes and just cut firewood for a day.
That's super
You know
cool.
what I mean? And like they just clean the place up.
It's
They
got
just
me
make
feeling
it
like
better.
a piece of shit. What did I do today?
No, but I mean,
I need to go back and chop some wood.
yeah.
man.
Well, you got to be a member.
That's true. Yeah.
So Scott, if you're listening to this, Dustin wants in. So make
That
another
would be
spot.
cool, man,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's super awesome just to be a part of that, and it's cool when you do go to like one of their meetings or something. It's a lot of like-minded younger dudes like you and myself. They enjoy being in the woods. They appreciate the same things. Most of them are bow hunters. There's a few old salty dudes in the group to keep everybody in line. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
you got to have those too, and
Yeah,
like
totally.
it's just good fucking
pave the
people.
way.
Yeah, I love it up there, man. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Joining the club, which I'm a guy not to join clubs. I'm like, fuck, why do I need a club for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is
It's
totally
unique.
different, man. Like, not that I'm going to war or anything, but like these are just good people. It's good people to be around, and any experience like the guy that was up there tuning his broadheads today. We didn't even catch his name, but
Right.
just the little interaction we had with him was
Super cool.
positive. You know,
yeah.
like we've had a good day. It was awesome, and that I think having a common interest in something like archery. Look how much time we spent together today that was uninterrupted, where we didn't really have cell phone service, and we had the best fucking time.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what you get out of golf too, right?
Totally,
Like,
man. I love the just the bonding on a golf course, and then I'm really dialed into the game too. And I was
Yeah.
dialed in today, man. It's just fun activities, man, and a challenge. I think that's what I like about this and golf is the challenge.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
I'd love to go golfing with you sometime, but
We
I'd
should,
have to
man.
take a lot of mulligans or
Hey,
something or whatever
they don't ask you how they ask you how many. I got people, so I'll put these scores up, and I've been playing really good, and they're like, how many mulligans? I'm like, dude, I don't play mulligans. You ask any of my buddies that I play with, I don't shoot mulligans. I play real golf. If I hit a bad shot and I got to drop, I got to drop. So be it. Guess what? I'm gonna put it on and give myself a chance for par.
Okay.
So, but
I just wouldn't want to hold you up.
Listen, that's the thing. The guys I play with, I don't care how you play. I don't care if you suck. My motto is, I don't care if you suck fast. Let's not be the group holding other people up. You got to be considerate of other people's time. And when you're on the golf course, I don't like slow golf. We got to keep it moving. And we'll look for your ball if it goes OB, and we'll give you the time of day. You get your 2, 3, 4 minutes, whatever it takes. But if it's not there, we drop and move on. We don't make a big deal about each shot. We're trying to put it in, but let's keep the game moving. Be respectful of other people's time.
That's kind of how I feel about this 3D archery. There's people that take it to a different level where, like, your foot's got to be on the stake, no range finders, no, like.
Yeah, well, there's always those
they
old
get
heads,
serious,
right?
yeah, like. So today it's fun just going up there relaxed. Like, even though we kept score, it wasn't like a competition. We didn't have money on the line or anything like that, right?
Not yet. Next time we go up there.
Yeah, let's go. We got to invite Luke Cadillo. He's the guy.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to Luke is the reason why I have a membership up there.
Okay.
I hit him up. So me and my son went up. They do a Father's Day shoot, which is super cool.
Cool.
And it's an actual competition. And I took my son like
previous you and your boy both shoot, and whoever, do you add up each other's score against everybody else?
So there's a pot, right? So they do 3D like tournaments basically. So everybody pays an entry fee. So $30-$40, whatever the entry fee is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they normally, whoever shoots the best round, and it's kind of an honor system.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there's a few guys that cheat, but really in this, like, guys,
it's an honor system.
It's an honor system. So you score yourself, you turn in your score sheet at the end of it, and whoever has the highest, they do a second, third, fourth. Luke does a shoot up there called Best of the Best, and it's like it's a traditional shooter and a compound shooter pair up. And if they don't have you just randomly get paired up with somebody. But I think it's like a couple $1,000s you win.
Oh, wow.
And you get to go up and shoot a course, and
Yeah.
you're only paying $120 entry fee or something. But
I love that.
The prize money's big too, So
I love that.
They give away trophies and belts and rings. And
$100 to win a couple thousand. I'll sign up for that any day of the week,
But there's some shooters that go up there and shoot.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
218, right?
I need
We
a
shot a
handicap.
140
I need a handicap.
today, dude,
Yeah, so tell them the highest possible point you could get today was what, 220?
220 if you're shooting one arrow at each stake.
And it has a 5. You get 5 points.
So if you hit anywhere on the body, so if you hit their toe, their hoof, their whatever, if it's in the physical 3D target, which the animals are life-size targets. So we shot at a grizzly bear today. We shot at a mountain goat. We shot at the squirrels are a little.
We shot at a pheasant.
The squirrels are like on roids, dude. Like
they are big.
Squirrel. They're big. It's a big squirrel. We shot at a pheasant, badgers,
if
coyote.
You hit the 3D target, 5 points.
5 points. So,
and then you have vitals.
Mm-hmm.
You got the kill shot, and from there you can go 8, 10, and 12.
Right.
Correct?
So there's different rings on the target, and if your arrow's barely touching the 12 ring.
To 12,
and it's mostly in the 10. It's a 12.
Okay, yeah.
It's how I've played.
Yeah. If you hit the,
some guys
ring.
might argue that, and then there's all kinds of different. Dude, you can go as deep as you want. There's different bow shoots that, I think it's called IBO or something, and there's actually professionals that do this. Like, this is their living, dude, is shooting 3D targets.
Well,
and
like we said, archery is an Olympic sport.
Yeah,
I believe. We work with USADA, which is the United States Anti-Doping Agency, and they come and randomly test us. And primarily outside of competition, we're getting tested for PEDs, steroids, things of that nature. And he comes to my house. He's like, yeah, I got to go. He's like, I'm going to do an archer next. And archer's getting PED tested. So he's just an archer. It's an Olympic sport, and he's getting piss tested for steroids, which is kind of crazy,
dude.
But yeah, it's I found that pretty unique.
Yeah, it's insane. So they have different rules. So I don't know I think I pointed it out to you on one of the targets, and I can't remember which one it was, but there's a little circle at the top of the lungs.
Yeah.
So like, if you hit that, I think it's scored as a 14 over. So really, that's not your best possible score. I guess you could shoot if you shot all 14s, which
Come on.
yeah, on a pheasant, it would be the size. You'd
It'd
have
be like
to put
the
your
eyeball.
Yeah, it'd be the diameter of the arrow.
Yeah.
Arrow probably.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I mean, you can take it as far as you want, just like anything. You can take golf as far as you want. You can get the rangefinders. You can have your
For
own
sure.
cart. You can
For
have,
sure.
the club that fills your beer. And
Totally, man.
so I think you can literally go as far as you want. But there's a ton of guys out there that go and shoot all these 3D archery tournaments, and they win like belt buckles. Belt buckles are big. Like they give it like kind of like rodeo or the 100-mile or marathons. Like I know belt buckles are big in that. It's kind of big in this community. But yeah, Luke and them do a thing called Best of the Best, and they actually give away like a belt, like a
That's
fight
super
belt.
cool.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. And I was trying to think. There's all
speaking
kinds
of fight
different
belts, I think it's pretty cool. Justin Gaethje, Colorado boy, just won the
Hell yeah.
BMF title. Shout out to Gaethje. I got to play golf with him actually on.
Finally, we talked about that a
finally,
couple of
man.
years ago. Yeah.
I got to play with him Monday, and my days are all thrown off since my last fight. I've just been playing golf every day, but yeah, we played on Monday, and I told him. I walked up to him on the putting green. I was like, "Hey, I've been doing a lot of talking lately about who the baddest motherfucker in the UFC at golf is, and you just won the BMF title, so I'm going to challenge you today to see who the best golfer in the UFC is." And he looked right at me dead serious. He goes, "Well, I guarantee I'm your toughest test. You're going to find out today." And I was like, right on, baby. I can't wait. Yeah. And we go out there, and he birdies the first hole. And I parred the first hole, man. He is a good golfer, but I will say I did beat him in golf. I shot a 73 that day. He shot a 79. So we both played really well, which was also really cool. It wasn't just a complete blowout or both guys played bad. We both played our A game. And my A game was a little bit better. So I got to, shout out to Justin Gaethje. That was so cool playing with him, man. I've been wanting to forever. But I claimed that BMF title. And then he put on his story, I guess I'm the second best golfer in the UFC, which I thought was really cool. But we bonded, we played golf, we both played well. It was a great day, man. So
yeah,
I couldn't be happier. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know Luke very well. I don't know, he corners Gaethje. The guy was telling you just about Luke Cadillo. He's got his own podcast. He's a great dude. But I've never met Justin. Is he a good guy?
Great dude,
Seems
man.
like
Yeah, quiet guy. He's got a small circle. He doesn't have a big crew.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that about him. He's super cool. He's a twin. I'm a twin. We talked about our twins. No shit. We talked about our twins a little bit, and just got to know each other. And as the day went on, we both opened up more and more. And I'm a pretty outgoing guy and laid back, and he's a little more reserved and quiet. But you could tell, super good dude. And he's done really well. BMF, the baddest motherfucker on the planet. So, that's not easy to do. So kudos to him.
Hell no. He's a hell of an athlete, man.
Yeah, dude. I've always been a big fan. I really looked up to him and respected him after he fought my boy Brian Foster. Shout out to Brian Foster, one of the baddest dudes to ever do it. And, the first real professional fighter that I looked up to. He was Donald Cerrone before Donald Cerrone. He had 5 UFC fights. 3 of them were bonuses. The only time I ever seen him in sparring, got dropped one day in sparring on like a Monday. Was fighting April 30th UFC.
Is that what ended his career?
Yeah, so he went and got an MRI. Went and got an MRI. Was supposed to fight April 30th. This was 2011. And the MRI showed a spot on his brain. After just taking a hit, and the UFC cut him and never let him back in. And he couldn't get approved by athletic commissions, and had there was some inside corrupt shit too going on. There's no doubt in my mind. He didn't really get along with Mike Mazzulli, I think's his name, who's the head of Connecticut Athletic Commission, who had a lot of power. And I remember him telling Foster, "You're never going to fight." And while he passed multiple tests and head screens, he was just kind of blacklisted. And I think the UFC was also scared. Wait a sec. You got a guy with a head issue. We're not going to take that risk ourselves. And since you've seen that happen to a couple other athletes here lately, like in the modern day, and they've got retest and they've been okay, and they've competed. Look at the Luke, who just fought RDA, and he had a brain bleed, and a couple years ago he was back fighting in the UFC. So anyway, I think he just got kind of blacklisted, and that was a bad deal. But yeah, shout out to Foster, man. He's a badass and a real OG. And when Gaethje beat him, I told him too. I cornered against him. I was like, man, when you beat him, I was like, damn, this kid's the real deal. And then he fought.
I remember watching Foster.
Oh, Foster's
several
a bad
times.
dude.
He was a bad motherfucker. Yeah, for sure.
Gaethje fought Salt Lake City, UFC 291. I fought the week after, just a couple weeks ago in Nashville. And Gaethje, I
Congratulations,
remember, man,
by the way.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
We'll get into that here in a sec. But I drew inspiration from Gaethje. I was like, man, this guy is a bad motherfucker. And I love Dustin Poirier. You know, those two are two of my favorite fighters. Like I didn't want to see either one lose. But for Gaethje, the way to win that fight the way he did, that was so badass. And I drew so much inspiration. I remember I was sitting in the back. The TV was on just like this. The fight before me just got done. They showed the crowd, and it was just everybody was there mass. I was like, man, everybody in the world's watching right now. Go do what Gaethje did. Go out there and just ball out like he does every time. And I went out there, man, and I got a, here you go, Gaethje and Foster. Yeah, I was in the corner of this one. But, yeah, I got a bet. Oh, there I am up top.
Oh, no shit.
This was
you had the little flavor saver back then, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah.
What year was this?
This was, let me get this year, 2016. I was going to, there you go. Yeah, 2016. I was going to say 2015, 2016. And Gaethje was still undefeated. Foster. Now, mind you, this is earlier, but he won the World Series of Fighting tournament, got all the way to New York to fight for the title for $1 million, and didn't get cleared by Athletic Commission because of this Mike Mazzulli guy. He won the whole fucking thing, and then didn't get cleared for the $1 million.
You wonder how many people are out there that are like that, man.
Oh,
that
tons. There's tons, man.
Right? Like, part of it is, like, what you are. Like, you got to be a Sugar Sean, like, type of attitude.
Yeah, you got to
like,
bring some flair. And he's
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are the highest paid dudes in the sport. And it's not because they're the best, in my opinion.
They move the needle. It's all about moving the needle, man. This fight, I remember Gaethje got him with low kicks, dude. And, that's Brian. He's so nasty.
Look at how young Gaethje is there.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Was this a UFC fight?
No, this was a PF. This is when it was World Series of Fighting, which is now PFL.
Okay.
And like I said, 2016.
What do you think about them doing the $1 million prize? Is that just to get like fighters over there? Or is that, what's it?
Oh, they're getting bigger. They're getting more and more investors.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And I think it's good. I think, competition, man. The more competition can keep driving up the price for fighters. And again, back to guys like Conor McGregor. Shout out to those guys. They've elevated the sport so much. Now, guys like me, I'm on my 5th UFC contract. I'm making real money, like because of those guys.
What you should fucking be for what you guys do,
dude,
man.
For real.
Like,
and
come on, bro.
and people see in one night there's so much work that goes into it. And where I'm at my career, man, I've invested 13 years of this professionally, right at 50 pro fights. I've put a lot into this sport. So to be finally, and I'm in the big picture, I'm at the tail end myself. In the big picture, I'm still in my prime and I'm still going strong right now, and I see no end in sight. But however, if you're being a realist in the big picture, I'm at the tail end of my career. And it's only going to get better. You know, those guys helped pave the way for me. I hope I continue help paving the way along with these other guys. So now the next generation of fighters are making real money, man. There's a fighters union, and they're being able to retire and live off of what they make, man, because it's not about what you walk away with, what you walk away with and what you walk away from. Or it's not about what you walk away from. It's about what you walk away with. And to be able to walk away with this with something to show would be huge.
Nobody forgets these, or nobody remembers these fights unless you bring it up, right? Like, I remember watching Brian Foster, but that's a name that I've totally forgotten about as a fan, right?
I know,
like,
man. It goes so
quick. And because
quick.
I'm personally invested with you as a friend, and like Josh Frimd and Grant Neal and Chris Camozzi and Coach Mark Montoya.
Yeah,
like,
his kicks are nasty.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, that is
You
brutal.
got him there, and then
And that's what Gaethje brings to the table, man.
right here. Oh.
He's a totally different fighter now, too, from this era, you know?
Oh,
like,
he's
elevated his
he's
game
elevated.
so much.
He's
Still got the backflips there.
Oh, yeah. And those have gotten better, too, over time. Yeah. He was showing me, we were talking about that. He's got an epic photo. And if you just go to his profile, dude, he's in the middle of a backflip. And I don't know where it is, Salt Lake City, if it's the most recent, or Madison Square Garden. But the crowd, dude, talk about the fucking man in the arena. Like,
yeah.
That is the high that 99% of people in this world will never feel. And it's incredible. And that's why this sport's so awesome. They're the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, man. But, yeah, that photo right there, like, is that not just epic? I mean, I think I don't know if a comment of mine. Oh, right there. I commented and said, "Heart is on fire after that performance. Very inspired." And I got to fight the week after. I got to fight less than 6 days after that, dude. So I saw that, and that just left me with so much fire. Look at the crowd. Look at the people. Look at the emotions. Like,
dude right under him.
Oh, my God, dude.
Cool
that brings a tear to my eye. Moments of greatness like that fires me up so much. Like,
and
God,
only
that is badass.
you or somebody that's stepped into that octagon, I feel like, can truly appreciate it. Even though we all appreciate it from the outside as fans, like, that's what I was saying. Like, going back to it, you guys being my friends, I know how much you've invested. I know where you're at in your career. I know the downside of it too, because you're my friend. I've seen the losses, dude, and I pay attention to them, and you're a pretty fortunate guy. You haven't had a whole lot of losses. There's some other dudes out there, that I'm friends with or whatever that have been through some shit, man.
Yeah,
and
dude. I train with guys every day that I just feel terrible for, and like you want to see them do so good, and they haven't.
It's heartbreaking for me to see that happen. So I can't imagine how it feels to be that person.
For sure, man. Like I said, the highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows. I've always said this, a roller coaster life. And, right now, definitely living at the top, coming off a big knockout win with, 10 days ago, whatever it was.
Hell yeah, dude. That was so much fun to watch, too.
Oh, it was badass, man.
Fight of the night, right?
Yeah, I got it. Performance of the night, another 50 Gs. And yeah, and Gaethje, how it's funny, we're on the golf course. I think my buddy Todd Romero brought that up.
Oh, he's trying to gamble your 50 Gs away?
Well, no, he was telling this other guy, Mutual guy who played with us when a Gaethje's fight, he's like, yeah, this guy's, number 15, like heavyweight, just got 50K last week,
Is that what it bumped? What is it? Where are you at right now? Because you were 14 going into that fight.
So,
right?
yeah, with the rankings, dude,
it changes by the minute.
It changes by the minute. There wasn't a guy, I didn't fight a guy in front of me, so I'm probably hovering around that 13, 14. Khalil Roundtree's ahead of me, and I didn't lose that fight, but
that's bullshit.
That's a whole other combo, It is bullshit.
I can't wait to get, like, somebody in here from the UFC, Dana or...
We'll have to reach out, get somebody on, man, for sure. Yeah, this was the last knockout, which was super cool. Yeah.
What an awesome performance, dude! Like,
and dude, this right here, the roof blew off of that place. I was so jacked up, doing high kneeing around the whole octagon.
I'm yelling in my living room, and my family's looking at me like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you?" They don't understand because they see me watch this all the time. My kids watch it. They understand. But I get even more jacked up knowing you and you being a personal friend.
Yeah,
anytime,
totally, man. This guy I fought was the biggest guy in the light heavyweight division. Had the longest reach. He listed at 6'5", but he's got a little bit of an afro too, so he looks like 6'8" when you're standing up next to him. He was probably, I'd say, every bit of 230 pounds, 225, 230 pounds when we fought, and I was like 213 pounds. I don't cut a bunch of weight at light heavyweight, and I tried something new for this fight too. I saw this video where this cheetah's stalking its prey, and he's hungry. A cheetah doesn't eat on a full stomach, so all week long I was eating really light. And I was just a little bit lighter than I used to be. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need food. I'm getting ready to go kill, man. I'm getting ready to go hunt. I'm going to try to do this hungry. And you saw what happened. So you're going to see on fight weeks, I'm not going to eat shit. I'm going to be just primal, man. Eating the bare minimum.
On edge.
Making sure I'm I've got the energy, but at the same time, I got to be hungry.
You know what's funny? You bring that up. Like, I have some certain things that I do before I have a podcast because I want to come in here in my best state, be my best self. This is my profession, right?
Yeah.
With you, I feel totally comfortable because it's a friend.
Well, and we've had a whole day, too.
My last podcast was a fucking archaeologist, dude.
Oh, shit.
He's got doctor in his title, right?
Yeah, see, so it's like my pay grade.
I'm like, he's talking to a Neanderthal.
Yeah, that's how I would feel.
Like you're studying, like you want to study ancient people. You're talking to one right now, But I do have certain things, like certain rituals. Like I'll make sure that I don't really eat. I kind of fast before the podcast just because I found I'm sharper mentally.
Yeah,
like right. It's all about like that awareness. So that's funny. It's not even relating stepping into the octagon, but
it's stepping into
funny,
your work
man.
field.
It does, yeah. And I found, like being fasted, I'm sharper mentally than I've ever been.
For sure.
I think just 'cause your senses are, you're
Everything's
probably more on edge.
point. Yeah, you're
but
on
that's
point.
perfect for fighting.
Oh
right?
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be on edge, man. You want to be quick. You want to be your reactions, your instincts just popping.
Yep. No, that makes 100% sense, man. I think it's a great philosophy, and keep going after
I'm gonna keep
you
it
know?
going. Yeah, no doubt.
For sure. How hard is it? I mean, how much weight do you have to cut, and how hard is that? Because I know that that's like just this fucking science these days.
It's totally a science, and for me at 205, it's not difficult at all. You know, I fought the majority of my career at 185 pounds. That was you know, I had to make sure that I was watching when I was eating. I walked around in fight camp closer to 200, 205. And then what people don't realize is I'll cut down to 85, and then the next day I'd be like 205, 207, stepping back in there.
So you're just dehydrated.
It's all water.
Huh?
It's all water weight. But if you're not properly preparing beforehand, like you have to drink at least a gallon of water a day. I tell the guys that cut the weight, if you're cutting 15 pounds, if you're drinking a gallon of water a day for a month leading up to your fight and you don't miss it, not one single day until it gets down, say you weigh in on Friday, and on fight week, you want to drink like half a gallon on Wednesday, another like not quite half a gallon on Thursday because you're already going to start losing, then you'll be golden. But if you do not miss one day of drinking a gallon of water, you're going to make weight. There's no way you can't. Your body's ready for it. It's you're fueled up on water. You're water loaded.
You're hydrated.
You're water loaded. But if you miss just one day, I had one bad weight cut at 85, and I barely made 186. And I remember that Tuesday before, I didn't drink my full gallon. I drank like half the gallon. And that told me right there, that weight cut sucks so bad. It's because I did not get that full gallon. Anything above a gallon, you're good. At least 1 gallon. Some guys just naturally get closer to 2, which is great. Even easier.
I do. I drink a fuck ton of water. It's an issue backcountry
Oh,
hunting.
bro, no, you got to for sure. When I'm not like this, you know how much water? I bet I have not drank 1 gallon of water since my fight. And I bet before that, there was not 1 week for 10 weeks I didn't drink a gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
So I know when people say, "Oh, I drink plenty of water," like, I guarantee you, no, you don't. People don't even drink this much water in one day. I know I haven't today. Well, I have because we were out, we were walking.
Well, I gave you a liter of water.
You did.
Today,
I did
so
drink
had
at least a liter. But
Mm.
yesterday, I didn't drink a liter of water. I've been drinking beer on the golf course. But even I just know when I'm not training, I'm not drinking the proper amount of water.
Right.
And I know people, they're like, "Oh, I drink water." I'm like, "Dude, you do not drink enough water. I promise you. You do not drink." So you got to drink the water, man. I'm telling you this right here. If I had to ever write a book about weight cut or being healthy in general, I am 100% sold it's water. If you're drinking a gallon of water a day, you're just healthier. Your system's flushed. You're healthier,
It makes
man.
so much sense.
And it's easier for a guy like me that trains and sweats as much as I do because I'm losing the water on the mat. You know, I get it if you're working a desk job or you're driving all day and you can't drink a gallon of water because you're pissing every 5 minutes.
Right.
And I remember I was like 20 years old, somebody talking about, "Man, I can't drink that much. I'd be pissing all this time." And then I was like, "Fuck, well, like, what's going on with me? I'm not pissing at all." I'm like, "Well, duh, idiot, you sweat so much.
You're burning 2,000 calories on a mat in a session.
Dude, I'm losing a half a gallon. I guarantee a half a gallon, if not more, closer to a gallon every day on the mat. So drinking a gallon of water is a lot easier. But
yeah, you have to be
that's
active,
the secret to
which
life,
I
to a
think is
healthier
good for you
lifestyle.
too, man.
Yeah.
Like being active and No, I'm a firm believer. If I don't get enough water in the day, I fucking know it and I feel it. And even my kids, that's something that I've like had to teach them. Like he's starting to play football. It's fucking hot this time of year, right? You're going into practice, and one day he got sick, you know, or he was like on the verge of throwing up, lightheaded, and I was like, "How much water did you drink today?" And he's like, "Honestly, I can't answer that." I was like, "Well, you should be drinking 2 liters of water before you go to practice."
Yeah, totally.
And then bring water with you, you know, like
And
it's
that
just
brings
key,
me back.
man.
It is
and
key.
He crushes.
It is
know?
key. And that's
He's
good.
like,
He's got
"Dad,
you to
you're
tell
right."
him that, dude. Because
Yeah.
hell, when I was a kid, I guarantee you, everything I drank was soda. Yeah, you know, I think about high school football games, and I probably had at least 2 Code Reds, for sure, like a couple ice creams at lunch. But I couldn't even tell you what I had to like eat. You were never worried about nutrition, and when you're younger, you can get away with that.
Right.
But yeah, man, start them young. Make sure they're drinking that water, especially this time of year.
Yeah, I think that the one thing with the obesity epidemic and all that sort of shit that's happening in our country, like, it's crazy, man. There's so many people that are overweight, and it's easy to fall victim to, right?
Yeah.
Like myself, I have.
Yeah.
And
I'm fortunate. I just don't. I have a high
well,
metabolism.
you
and
work out. You're
I
still
do work
young.
out, yeah.
You know, like you watching your age, it's gonna catch
Oh
up to you
yeah,
a
I'm
little
sure,
bit too,
man.
dude.
I know, and even
you hit that 40 mark, it's a different story, bro. Like
I get skinny fat. I don't really put on weight. I'm just naturally a skinny guy.
Yeah.
I don't put on that
But
weight.
you've been a pro athlete, well, performing at a pro level right out of high school pretty much,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because you went
Oh,
straight
yeah.
into college football,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would consider that just as hard, or if not as hard as being a pro athlete. Like I
bro, I've been
have a couple friends that have played college football and then went on to the pros, and they were like, honestly, college was harder because of all the temptation that was around you
Yeah,
to keep yourself healthy, get sleep,
for sure.
fucking train.
Sleep's another
Yeah.
big one, man. You got to sleep. That's another thing. I have my fun. People don't realize when I'm in camp, 8 to 10 weeks out from a fight, my wife and I are laying in bed by like 8 p.m. at the latest, and we're passed out by around 9 o'clock, 9:30 at the latest. So sleep is a big one, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun, but when I'm in camp, and I'm in camp a lot, those 8-9 weeks, dude, I'm drinking a gallon of water a day, and I'm in bed by 8:30 at night.
All that shit's important.
shit adds
Not
up,
drinking
man.
too much, right?
That shit adds up.
Drinking fucks up your sleep. Like there's
And that's
a lot.
another thing I definitely do take pride in. You know, I'm always prepared. I've never shown up to a fight not prepared.
And you've
Yeah,
had
I
some
have
short notice
dedicated-
shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And people are like, I can't. No one's ever questioned that because I prove it time and time again. Even short notice, I show up there with abs and in shape, and you know, I'm constantly on it, man. I'm always I've been active. I've always been grinding, and I've dedicated the better part of my life to a sport like the highest part of dedication, man. I mean.
Yeah, that is your job, right?
It's my job.
Training.
Yeah, it's even it feels weird talking about it sometimes 'cause I don't talk about it. I just do it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's what a badass job, but I don't think that people really appreciate the discipline that you guys have as professional fighters. Not every professional fighter has it, right? Like
No.
everybody, all people
There's
are different,
levels.
dude. Yeah, there's levels.
And where I saw this the other day, I saw Poirier posted a photo. Somebody made a meme about him on his back after the Gaethje fight, and it's like when you realize you've dedicated yourself you've dedicated yourself to the sport, to being the best in your sport for 2 decades and come up short or something. And
That
he
is fucked,
reshared
man.
it. He's like, you know what, these poor miserable people that doesn't change who I am. Like they want to post, so I've come up short. But 2 decades.
I would like to see a
20
photo
fucking
of the guy
years.
that posted that.
Exactly, dude. Bingo.
Guarantee he's not
Bingo.
showing his face or
Bingo,
fucking.
bro.
He's not in front of a mirror taking a selfie with his shirt off. Dude. I
Bingo.
would love to see that, dude.
And props. I was like, damn, Poirier, you're right. Cause I'm getting up there too. Props to you for doing that, dedicating that much of your life to something that you believe in.
Well, think about how much better that's going to make you later in life, dude. Like, I
That's
know
a
that
life
you
worth
guys
lived.
take some bumps and bruises in the octagon and head trauma and fucking everything else that comes with that,
Yeah.
right? There's a shit ton that comes
Yeah.
with it, right? But also, I think that what people don't bring up a lot is you guys are at an advantage to continue that. Like, look at Shannon Sharp after his football career. That guy is still almost in the same goddamn shape, man. That
Yeah.
guy is fucking ripped. Like,
and it shows to
if
his,
you're a fat piece of shit from a young age, I'm sorry, not a fat piece. If you're overweight from a young age, right? Or maybe you're lazy, whatever. I
Yeah.
didn't mean for it to come off that way.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't really care because there's no woke culture on this podcast.
yeah,
But,
for sure.
but what I'm saying is if you're lazy and you're overweight and you're sedentary early on in life, it's only going to be that much harder when you get older.
No doubt.
You're only going to go through that many more medical problems when you're older. Like, there's something to be said. It's almost an investment in your future training that hard.
For sure.
As long as you keep it up and maintain it, right? Like, and you don't have to go as hard when you retire, but there are guys that are out there that are doing it. Like my buddy Josh Walker, he's an NFL lineman, and he's in better shape now than I think he was when he was a lineman.
Yeah, a lot of those linemen are like that.
You know, like he's
That's
still
cool.
like he's just
It's
built like a brick
testament
shit
to
house.
what
man.
got them to the
Yeah.
highest level is just that being that type of person.
Yep.
You know, if you're lazy or not as driven, self-driven, you're not going to make it at that high level. And you see those successful linemen; those guys, they always look like better after their careers.
Yeah, if you
'cause
can
they're
just
that type of
maintain it.
person.
Well, it's also like having like Derek Wolf and stuff in here. some of the stipulations that they put on those guys, like you have to weigh in at 330 or you're going to get fined $10,000.
Yep.
And that's each time that you miss weight. Like those guys have to make weight too.
For sure.
But it's on the opposite end. Like they have to gain weight. So what's the fastest way to gain weight?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot harder to put muscle on than it is. Yeah, here's some pictures of
no
Jaywalk. He's a good dude. You should go on his podcast. He's got a podcast, Retired to Hunt.
Retired. So what's he retired from? Hold on.
NFL football player. He was a
Okay.
lineman for the Packers. Played under Aaron Rodgers, in that
super
era
cool,
and
man.
stuff. And
Okay,
yeah, he's a good dude. He shoots up at American Bowman, and
Does he live here in town? Is it?
he lives just in Pine, so we drove right by his place on
Yep,
the way
I know
in.
right where that's at.
Yeah.
And did he play for Denver? Is he from here? Or?
No, I think he just moved out here on a whim and brought
Really?
some property and was just like, "Fuck it, I want to get out of." I think he grew up.
The new Binoharus.
He grew up. Where did he grow up?
I want to say Tennessee.
No, I think it was Arkansas or something, right?
Hang on a second.
Dirty South.
Yeah, it might have been Tennessee. I think you're right, Jeremy.
I think it
And
was.
he was a waterfowl hunter. But these guys, with their NFL career, all the hunting seasons are during football season.
I know.
So they can't hunt. So when they get out, they're like,
Well, dude, I experienced that with high school football, college football. I never got to go deer hunting because I was always playing football.
Yeah.
I was always the start of football season, and
that's honestly why I quit playing high school football my senior years. I wanted
hunt?
to elk hunt,
Wow.
dude. I was
Wow.
like, this just isn't.
yeah. I remember I always missed deer season because, man, I was on the gridiron.
Yeah.
I was playing.
Yeah. So these guys, I mean, they're awesome, man. So like he's dedicated his post NFL career to hunting. He played for Houston and
Super
a couple
cool.
other teams, but
Yeah.
what I
Indy,
was
Green
getting at
Bay.
with that is just like,
Evansville, Tennessee.
yeah, the
There you
shit,
go. Evansville with
How
an
the
E.
hell did I remember that?
the shape that he's in now,
Triple
is-
E, Evansville, Tennessee.
just as good as he was when he was playing. You know
Yeah,
what I
looked
mean?
even
He's just
better.
maintaining. He's just outdoors. He's doing shit. He's active. Like.
Super cool.
So I think as long as you can maintain it, you guys are actually up on your fucking average day person that goes and sits at a cubicle and
No doubt.
pounds a keyboard and like.
And again, there's a lot of pros and cons to what I do, and when I say my struggle is my strength, getting up and going to the gym every day and being in fight camp, that shit sucks, man.
Yeah.
And when I say it sucks, there's nothing else I'd rather do. I'm not at a desk job. I'm hanging around my buddies. I'm training. I'm active. We're competing.
Look what we got to do today.
Yeah, man,
like,
it's so cool. But a con is like being so sore and just getting through what can be kind of a grind. But that's also a pro, man. I'm eating healthy. I'm drinking the gallon of water. I'm getting my sleep. I'm taking care of myself physically. So all those things that you look at on the bad side are also a good side, very positive side to overall health and well-being. And that's something that this sport has just made me a better person because of that.
yeah.
And that's something a lot of people don't think about,
100%.
And also on our end, we got to think of those that work the desk job, and you can see how it gets a little bit lazy, and you go to a job that you don't like, and you got to, paying for a house that you can't afford, and a family and 8 kids running around. Yeah.
Instagram or
Oh, for sure.
Like, they're doing the bare minimum to get by.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the biggest misconception with, like, I'm no CEO of a company, nor do I want to be, like, but
You're CEO of
I
your own
think
company,
that-
my man.
I think that there's a way to run it, right? Like, give these people some freedom. Like, hey, this is your responsibilities. This is what you're responsible for. This is what I expect. I don't give a fuck how you get it done, when you get it done, if it's at midnight or not. Just fucking get it done.
Get it done.
That's all I care about. Do whatever you want. Be on Instagram as much as you want. Be on fucking social media. Go
Whatever
drink,
floats your
smoke,
Whatever
blow it
floats
up your
boat.
nose, go to the strip club, whatever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you can show up and perform, and maybe that's my roadie background, because that's kind of the roadie philosophy. As long as you could do your job,
Yeah.
nobody could say shit about
I'm with it.
what you were on
totally
or what
with
you were
it.
doing or
Lifestyle.
Like, it is different,
Hey, man, take your time, hurry up. The choice is
Yeah.
yours. Don't be late.
But yeah, that's the biggest thing is be on time, do your fucking job, and go over and above a little bit. And
Yeah.
that's all you got to do.
Hell yeah.
Like, really. But I don't know. I just feel like corporations are like, no, you got to be here for 8 hours. You got to sit in this cubicle.
Try to micromanage you.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Stand over your shoulder. Make sure you're doing this and that right.
and now they're starting to do it at the point where it's like, they're tapping into your phone. So they have an IT person that's watching every move that you're doing. Here's your company computer. Here's your company phone. It's like, you know,
everyone's being monitored.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're very fortunate in that aspect.
No doubt.
Like,
for
there's
sure.
a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with people that have to work those jobs, man. Like,
yeah, man, it's a
my
choice.
hat goes off to them,
it's a choice.
too.
You choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, you're cool with that. Cool. I'm a live and let live type of guy. You're down with that. You be down with that. It's not my cup of tea, but if it's you and it works, gets you by, right on, man.
Yeah. 100%. And we need those people, like,
fucking
for sure, building houses and doing all that sort of stuff. Like, there's no way in hell. We're seeing a ton of roofing going on around here because we had a hailstorm. And I'm like, that is a thankless job. Like, nobody thinks about their roof until there's a hole in it.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got pounded this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I used to
and
sell
those poor
roofs.
dudes that do that, man, like,
ooh,
we
tough
were
job,
sweating our
man.
asses off on the archery course shooting 100 yards,
Hey,
dude. Those guys have to go roof a house, bro.
Dude, and they all got sweatshirts on.
Oh, I know.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
They're smart, actually, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
I
getting
don't get
staying
it.
out of the sun, man. Yeah,
I guess.
it's important. The best investment that I've made are those, you know, Origin's a sponsor of us, so they make like, it's not a rash guard, it's like a thin layer, so it's a sunproof.
Is it what you had on today?
It's what I had on
Yeah,
today,
those
and
are
you don't
dope.
have to. I hate putting on sunscreen because of the
I don't ever
grime
put
and
on
all
sunscreen.
that bullshit.
Same. Yeah, I
dude.
play a
It's
lot of
like-
golf, and I don't put sunscreen on because then I can't swing a club. I can't hold the club
Yeah.
right.
Those long sleeve things are like, fuck, dude. They're like board shorts. Like, once you put them on, you don't want to wear anything else. They're like
Nice.
flip flops. You know?
Yeah,
It's like,
totally.
I want to wear it everywhere. You
Speaking
know?
of flip flops, when we got out of the boots, we got done with the course day. How nice was it? We were like, man, I can't wait to put these slides on. I live
Yeah.
in these slides, man. That's
Oh,
a
hell
cool
yeah.
thing. We get these slides. I'm
Yeah,
so comfy and man, just comfortable.
that's a UFC bonus right there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let them dogs breathe.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. As soon as I roll out of jiu-jitsu or anywhere, it's like, I'm going to wear flip-flops everywhere that I possibly can.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a Ben Askren thing. I think
Is
he
it?
wears sandals everywhere he goes.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. When I lived at the beach, it was just barefoot. Like, it was accepted. When you lived in Hermosa Beach, you could walk into any store. They're not going to refuse you service, dude. You're just
Okay.
barefoot
That's
everywhere.
dope.
So it was even, like, next level. Until you step on a fucking piece of glass or
Ooh,
some shit.
Yeah,
That
getting
sucks.
tetanus 101.
Yeah. So going through your UFC career, not even your UFC career, because I don't even want to put it in that. Like, you've had a
The fight
ton
career.
of years fight career, MMA, outside of it, whether it was kickboxing, wrestling, college football.
boxing, yeah.
What are what keeps you going in this, and what are kind of the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows? Like, that's always what's in my mind, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's so badass what you guys do. I also don't think that people understand the discipline, like you said, like, you know, talking yourself into going to the gym and getting through a fight camp and, like, being that dedicated to where I'm sure that there's some shit that you've missed in your life. Like,
Oh,
having
totally.
to pack up out of elk camp when you're in the middle of an elk fight or
Yeah, elk hunt.
middle of elk hunt.
That I was really looking forward to.
To go to
land
Madison
that I'd
Square
never been to. Yeah.
Garden, the exact opposite, you know, like,
Well,
of where you're at.
Man, to answer that, I've been so self-motivated. And my whole life, like, what fires me up, that picture we showed earlier, Justin Gaethje, moments of greatness. If you go to Netflix and you see the quarterback show that's out, or The Last Dance, anything that, like, moments of greatness, man, that fires me up, brings a tear to my eye. When I see people do something just what people think unachievable, and they achieve it. And definitely in the sports world, that's something that's always driven me. I've always been, you know, when it comes to football, basketball, baseball, I was a 3-sport guy. I was the best on the team, but I was always there. Like, I couldn't get enough of it. And, you know, I'd be the guy playing the pickup game from the first game till people were wanting to leave, and I'd drag people out. Or even as a kid, my brother, you know, he was super competitive too, but when it comes to sports, man, I would always be dragging him out, like, dude, let's go play catch. Will you catch for me? I want to pitch. Will you run this route for me? I want to throw the football. Dude, let's play one-on-one. I just could never get enough. And I've always been like that. And I think that's what's got me to where I am now. And also, you know, I've lost fights in my career, but I've always been the man in the arena. So I've never listened to what other people say. I've always had this undeniable self-belief in myself that I have greatness within me. And I read that in a book one time. If you can spot greatness and you can see it, then you have it within you. And the way that I spot it and the way that I see it and the way that it sets my heart on fire, that's how I am as an athlete. And that's what's driven me to be where I am today and how far I've went and how I'm still doing what I'm doing, is just that inner fire that just burns just so hard for so long. And it's still burning. You know, I still get fired up. Like I said, the training can be difficult at times and you just got to learn to love it. And I do, I enjoy it. But that moment on fight night when you can go out there and there's, I don't know, however many thousand people in the stadium watching you and however many millions of people on a Saturday night ESPN are watching you, like that fires me up, man. And that's what keeps me coming back for more. And it's an addiction, a craving that I've always had. And it's always been inside of me. And I think it always will be. And that's the hard part also with this sport, is it's an individual sport. Fighting, for one, is very dangerous. And guys that have that, which I know that'll never go away in me, is going to make it hard when it is time to say, hey, this is it, you know, because, and you got to have those good people around you. They're like, you know, if things aren't going well, like, dude, you're playing a dangerous game. And if you just physically can't compete anymore, you get over that edge.
Or even if you're mentally not there.
Yeah,
right?
or mentally not there. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of guys in the gym. You can tell they're not fully mentally there. And this is a game you can't be. Coach has always said it. I've always known it. You can't just be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because it's a dangerous game. You can get hurt. If you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you can get hurt. And again, that's one thing, like I said, that I've always taken pride in, is just being properly prepared. And I've always been 2 feet in. You know, I got to fight. You're not catching me out on a weeknight. You're not catching me not in bed by 8:30 snoozing. You're not catching me not with my gallon of water. You're not catching me cheating meals. And I've got a great wife that takes really good care of me, man. She's been the backbone of the whole operation. And I wouldn't be where I am without her. You know, she pushes me to be better. And that's every which way. By being better, that's training, that's eating, that's your diet, that's your sleep, that's everything we've talked about. It all adds up. It's the compound effect. And yeah, man, for that fire to still be burning at 35 years old, and I see no end in sight right now. Like I said earlier, I'm at the tail end of my career, but man, there's no doubt in my mind I could be world champion.
I want to see you fight for the title
there's
so
no
bad.
doubt in
I don't
my
think
mind.
that there's a better time with the
There's
people that
not.
are at the helm right now.
There's not.
You can fight
the
those
division's
dudes.
wide open.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira, who I have fought and I have history with in Glory, is now fighting for the title.
Yeah, that was one of my questions.
My best bet is he wins this title, man, and I get another sick knockout, and he grants me. He's like, "Hey, let's go." Jacoby and I have history.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell it. It's a selling point for the UFC. I mean, let's not get it twisted. That Khalil Roundtree fight was a freaking robbery. If I don't lose that, that's 10 in a row. And then that just led into my last fight, or 2 fights ago, when I lost that decision. And I did lose, but I was 15 seconds away from winning. I got dropped the second time I got dropped in the second round, 20 seconds before that round was over. If I don't get dropped there, I arguably win that fight. I lost the first round. I won the third round.
Yeah.
And the second round was super close.
I think that decision was bullshit, honestly.
With the Khalil Roundtree fight, well, that was 100% bullshit, and the whole world knows it. But the next fight after that is when I did lose, and rightfully so. It is what it is. But I finished that fight strong. I won that third round, and if I hadn't got dropped in the second round, I would have won the fight, I think. Yeah. But then to carry that into this last fight, you know, you're only as good as your last fight, right? So when you lose 2 in a row, everybody forgets about the 9-fight win streak I went on in the UFC. Everybody forgets about that. They're writing you off. You go out and have a win like I just had, you know, however many days ago. Mm-hmm. Now you're back to being the man. Everybody forgot about the 2 losses. They're talking about, oh my God, you know, this guy could potentially be the next guy. So,
how bad is the spectrum too? Like, I've always wondered, like, how many phone calls do you get when you're winning, and how many do you get when you're not? Fucking, like,
so
you know what I mean?
I'll tell you this, and I am very fortunate and very lucky. I started this podcast by saying I get to do cool shit because of all the cool people I know. I have so many great people around me. And I have a support system that's unmatched, man. I don't think anybody could match it. These last 12 UFC, however many fights I've had, dude, I've had 70+ people. There's a core of them, probably 15 to 20, that have been there through thick and thin every single time. And then there's another 50 more that have been hit and miss and been to, you know, 6 of the 9 or 8 of the 9 or maybe 3 of the 9. But whatever it is, man.
You got a little fan club.
Bro,
following
I travel so well.
You're like the Grateful Dead of fighting.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And it's unbelievable. Like that support is unbelievable. And that's what keeps me going too. Like I am so fortunate when it comes to that. And so I'm so very grateful. Shout out to my family, my friends, my fans, dude. We have my wife puts together this Facebook page, and it's the same 80 people or so, and hit or miss. You know, people have life going on, and that's what's even crazier is there's some people have been to every single one. I'm like, man, like, A, how do you afford this? B, like, you're taking the time to come see me and support me. Like, it makes me kind of feel bad in a sense that I'm not there. Like, what I need to be there for them more, you know? And it's just crazy. It's very overwhelming and super cool, man. I couldn't do this without any of them. I kind of forget what the original question was or where I was going with that.
Well, I was just talking about the highs and the lows. Like, I've always kind of hit you up whenever, like, win or lose or anything like that. So what I was saying is, like, how many phone calls do you get when, like, you're on top of the world, you just got fight of the night?
Totally.
How many podcasts people are hitting you up? How many people are that? And then when it's a L, it's like your whole world crumbles, right? Like a little bit. Not whole world crumbles, but it's just like, it's probably radio silence.
Yeah, so the Khalil Roundtree fight, that one, everyone, I had a ton of people hit me up because it was such bullshit.
Deal. Yeah.
But the next fight, when I lost, I remember I had 26 text messages. When I got back to the locker room, I got my phone and I opened it, 26, right? This last fight, when I got back to the locker room, to my phone, and this was within, like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, 255 messages. 255. The fight before I lost, 26.
So it's unanimous. People like winners, dude.
Unanimous, right? People like winners. And, yeah, where I was going there, I do have so many people. And there's also a lot of those people, because I've talked to people, we've brought that up. I told them the drastic difference. And, there's a lot of people that are like, man, like, you know, when you lose, they just don't know what to say, right? They don't have the right thing to say. Or
it is fucking hard, dude, because I don't know what to say to you when you lose. Like, or like, you know, some of the other fights.
But you win and get a knockout, everybody's like fired
Well,
up.
that's simple. It's like, congratulations.
For sure.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Oh, my man. Thank you, bro.
You know, thanks, Jeremy. You know, you have... That's super simple. When somebody has a loss, you want to choose your words carefully, right? Like,
right.
I genuinely care because I'm personally invested in you guys as friends, you know, like some of you, and then some of you I don't know, you know, that even though that we support. I've found for me the best way to support, if you're my personal friend, like, I don't mind, I feel comfortable texting you and being like, hey, dude, that was a shitty deal. Keep your head up. Right? Just something as simple as that.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody that I don't really know, like, I've just found what works for me to support a fighter is promote their fight. Because that's what they need beforehand. And then after, win or lose, just let it be, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with
let it be.
Yeah. I totally get it. And I think a lot of people could have that same feeling, right? Which is why you get the 26 compared to the 255. Yeah. It's just, some people like, you know, we'll let it be, let that one marinate. And
right. So what would you expect, though? Like, what would you want? Would you want more people to reach out to you? Or is it like at that moment you don't want to fucking talk to anybody?
Yeah, you know, but both ways.
You got to be just as pissed as...
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, both ways. Of course, you know, it's kind of a catch. It's going to kind of sound bad because that's of those 255. So then... You want to say thank you to everybody, right? And you have a different relationship with every single one of those people. And I'm the worst at this because I'm a guy that, like,
you need to hire somebody.
I know, totally. Like, if it, you know, and I care about a lot of people, man. So I feel like everybody, I'm trying to give them my all back. But then they start texting you. So I'll reply to one guy, thank you, you know, blah blah. Next guy, you know, blah blah.
Oh, so they're taking it off of social media to text or something.
Well, but then they don't realize that, okay, I have 255 of these, but now they want to start asking questions and they want to start texting with you like, how did you do this? What was this? And that's when I feel bad. So a lot of times right after a fight, you'll get that one back, and then a lot of people leave a question. I'll get back to them within the next 10 days or so. You know, it is tough because you just have so many people reaching out to you. And like I said, I'm the worst about that. I want to give everybody
Dude, I've had some people get so pissed off at me because they're like, dude, I messaged you like 5 days ago. And I'm like, bro, I don't pay attention to social media. You have my cell phone number. Like, literally call me if you really like.
I can be the worst
and
at that,
if you don't have my cell phone number, then I probably don't want you calling me because there's a shitload of people that have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and
that's kind of how I gauge it, man. It's like...
I do get a lot of numbers that I don't have saved, and I'm thinking, you know, I could have lost it in the somehow, some way, but more often than not, it's like if I don't have it saved, I mean, obviously we're not that good of buddies, you know.
And that takes a lot to keep up with, because as that goes down your feed, you just kind of forget about it.
Well,
you know
that's another thing.
It's
You
like
know
you got to go way back. And,
I'll look at a message and I'll read it, and then something else be going on. I'll never make it back to that message.
Dude, it's so hard,
and that
man.
goes with
you
whether
can
I have a
dedicate
number
your
or not.
life to that. Like, there's people that dedicate their life to social media.
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean? Like, I have some friends that are just fucking on it. But like for me, I have kids, so when I walk in the house, there's certain people, like Jeremy can ring me, because if Evergreen's burning down, I want to know.
Yeah.
And he doesn't normally bother me, and I think I bother you way more than you bother me.
My life is just like, don't bother people, and that's all that I do. And
he's the fucking man, dude.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
I just don't want to bother people. But every time I pick up, when I see Bobby call it, I'm like, fuck, dude. I got to talk to this guy.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
I'm
I
like, this is
appreciate
awesome,
it.
man.
I love you, brother.
I love when Bobby calls.
So there's certain people that can ring through, like family members and stuff. It doesn't matter if do not disturb's on, but like I really try to like throw my phone on top of my refrigerator because nobody can get to it. I have to go to the extra effort to go like get it. It's like kind of tucked back in there. Your hand doesn't really fit. Like it's a bitch, right? Like I got cabinets built around it. It's just a good spot to shelf it. Like I don't need to I don't have like business deals happening or anything like that. You know, like
urgent. Yeah.
Anything urgent. So like that lets me focus on being a father and being there present with my kids. What are they doing? Are they doing homework? Do you want to go play basketball? You want to go throw the football? Do you want to fucking, you know, do whatever? You want to do a board game or whatever? So like to me, I'm just not that invested in social media. I don't get that much out of it. Like it's been great for me, but I would, if I was single and living by myself, fuck yeah, dude. I would be all over that shit all the time, dude. Like, you know, I'd have a different girlfriend every week for sure, but I love my wife, you know, I love my family. But yeah, so I can understand that. And there's certain people that I know that are just on it all the time and they fucking crush it at it, you know? And I love watching their shit.
More power to them, man.
But sometimes those guys even get mad at me. They're like, dude, you don't like any of my stuff anymore. It's like, bro, my feed is so big that I just get lost in it. I do appreciate what you're doing, but I can't like every fucking thing that you do, you know? Because you're posting the 9, 10, 15, 16 times a day, like.
Well, and I'm not a big story watcher, and I'm not really a big scroller. What I'll do is I'll put stories up, and then I don't ever look at a story. And so people are probably, man, you don't ever see my shit. Well, dude, I just don't, man. I put my stuff up and then I go on. You know, like I put that stuff up for who knows. It's probably got 1,000 views right now. I guarantee.
That's
especially
the best
after the
way,
fight.
dude. Post and ghost.
That's what I do, man.
I don't care how many likes it gets or whatever.
I guarantee you it'll probably be tomorrow. Maybe this tonight if I hop on, but it'll be tomorrow morning. I'll be let's see how many people looked at that story. And it's like you got 2,500, whatever it is. So.
It's funny how I actually find out about it is some of the guests that I have on will reach out after we had the podcast because we do little reels and all the stuff, clips from the show now. Like production wise, it's come a lot further than the last time that you've been on. Like each time we keep growing, our audience keeps growing, and now we have all these little reels and stuff. So they'll call me up. They're like, dude, this shit is going viral. And I don't have a clue. I'm like, oh, cool. Awesome. I'll check it out. And they're like, you haven't seen it? I'm like, no, and then I'll go on my feed and it'll be like 3,000 whatever little hearts or all the whatever the notices are. But I don't know. I don't know how to gauge it. Like I feel honestly like if I could ever get to the point where there was just one person that managed that and I could just talk to my friends.
The problem with that though is I'm so anal about how like my stuff's portrayed. Like I want it to be 100% me. I don't want to give anybody else rights to post something because I want it in my words. I don't know. And I don't want I don't know. It's just I'm kind of weird about that.
Yeah, and it's almost like you got to fake it's like a decoy, right? Like so if somebody's answering your messages, right? And it's not you.
Right.
People think it's you.
I definitely don't want that.
Yeah, that's a little fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you could take it to that level.
No.
Yeah.
And even, even if I was, had, Gaethje has 2 million followers. Even if I had that, I would still do it myself. I don't know if he does his or not. I could see him being the guy that lets somebody take it over. Because, he probably has his stuff on there and hit and miss. But
I have a couple friends that have some significant followers. And they've got their set to where it's like, hey, if you message this person, they're just not going to. It just says it right there. It's like, this person does not accept messages or whatever.
Yeah, well, so
there's all kinds of different settings.
You have like a little inbox, separate inbox on IG for people that you don't follow or follow.
It's like general or
requests.
Requests,
yeah.
I bet I could pull that up right now. I guarantee you. I would say it's pushing the thousands of how many are in there because I don't ever look at them and I don't ever go through and delete them. I don't ever click on that. I have before earlier, and then obviously now, what made that so popular was the betting, like these DraftKings, these betting sites, and so now everybody's placing bets. So now they want you to see that they're betting on you, win or lose. So it's all when you win, oh baby. Thank you, blah, blah, you did this to me, blah, blah, blah. If you lose, man, you lost my house. I can't pay for my kids' diapers. Like,
what?
Hey, man, I didn't make that bet. Will you Venmo me? Can you PayPal me? Because I put this on you, and they'll show me, like,
you know
the
what's
bet
funny?
slip.
Like, I've gotten a couple messages when I've supported you or, like, other fighters. Like, because I'll post something on the story. Like, if it's fight day or something, I'll be like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Check out UFC. Whatever, or check out bare knuckle or whatever, and I'll have dudes trying to make side bets with me, but I think it's a scam.
It is a scam.
They're like, hey,
it's 100% a scam.
I see that you're supporting Jacoby. Will you want to throw 500 on it or whatever?
Yes.
I'm like,
100% a scam.
This guy, dude.
So I had a buddy, Todd Romero, who I wanted to bring up on this podcast. Because shout out to Todd Romero. He works for Altitude Sports. He does their golf show. We were talking yesterday. I've probably got. People see him on the golf course a lot. Dude, I play a lot of free golf. So there's my secret. I don't pay for a lot of golf. And my buddy Todd, I have literally thousands of dollars racked up in comp rounds that I've played with him. And we play for free all the time. I played there's going to be 3 days tomorrow playing with him this week. I haven't paid a dime. And these are $100, $200 courses.
Fuck yeah.
So anyway, shout out to him. But however, he told me after one of my fights, he bet this guy, and I had won, or I had lost. It was the Roundtree fight, the first time it happened. And this guy got, I can't remember what it was. It was like 20, 100, 80, nothing too crazy. But my buddy paid him. And it came back on another fight. I think it was this last fight I had. This same guy hit him up, and I win, and the guy ghosted him. Never paid him. No. So he actually got him for whatever their wager was. And then when Todd won, the guy was nowhere to be heard from, nowhere to be found. It is a scam.
So how are they doing it on Venmo or something?
I don't even all they're doing is saying, "Hey, I see you're supporting Jacoby. How about a $20 bet? How about a $100 bet?" You're like, "Okay, cool." I lose. They're like, "So you're gonna be a man of your word, blah blah. You pay whatever." I win. They're gone. You will never hear from that, and they'll go create a new account.
Yeah, of course they
it's 100% a scam, and that happened to a good buddy of mine. I felt bad for the guy.
That's crazy.
And he was having me. He's like, "Hey man, I bet on you. Will you
did
pay
he
this
ask
tab?"
you for the money?
No, he sure didn't. No, he never would. But yeah, there's a full circle right there.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man, it's for sure a scam.
Yeah, definitely the highs and the lows though of it, man. Like
so that's another thing in this sport that people don't realize. You win, like I just won, right? I'm the freaking man. Like I'm right in this class, and I still haven't stopped cheesing. Like,
well, dude, I would have invited you up here if you lost, dude.
Yeah,
Same thing
for
today,
sure, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, so
100%. So you win, like you're awesome, right? You're only as good as your last fight. But when you lose, man, you don't. In football, you lose, you get to play the next week, and it's a team game too. Basketball, you might get to play the next night. Baseball, you're for sure playing the next day. You go 0 for 3 at the plate. Well, the next day you get a chance to go 2 for 4 with a home run. The next day you get 3 for 5. In football, you throw a couple picks. Well, you got the next week to throw touchdowns. In fighting, you lose your fight. You don't know when the next one is, and you're a loser for the 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
It might not ever come back. There's guys that have been cut after like 6 months of fucking being dormant.
Yeah,
right?
100%. So that's one of the hardest parts that people also don't realize about this sport is it's just so unique. It's so individualized. We have a team, and we have Factory X. It's a great team. We have a great coach in Mark Montoya, but it is an individual sport, and win or lose, you're the guy that has to sit on that until the next one comes, and you don't know when that next one comes, and you don't know, nothing's guaranteed in life. You don't know if you'll ever get back in there, So if that's the case, hopefully, it's off of a win. It's off of an 82-second knockout, so that's cool. But, man, nothing's guaranteed. I don't know if I'll ever step foot back in the UFC octagon. Of course, I plan to, and I'm going to.
I think after this last performance, you'll definitely be back one time.
But, my coach, man, like you said, life happens, man. Like, he didn't stop fighting because he wanted to stop fighting. He stopped fighting because he had to. His wife was pregnant, and things got hard, and then she almost died giving birth to their daughter, and the Brooklyn almost died, and
We've actually had Brooklyn on too.
Oh yeah, I saw her name up there, which was pretty cool. She's a marathon runner, and so speaking of the marathon thing, I told you my wife's get into it. I'm actually doing a 10K with her, the Boulder-thon. I don't know if you're familiar with that or whatnot.
I don't know. But I know nothing about marathons.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do it, and I think mine's so. 10K, what is that, like 6 miles, I think it is. And like I told Kayla, man, I mean, and of course I'm going to because it's just a lifestyle. It's what I do. But I could not run from now until that Boulder-thon here in 2 months, and I guarantee I could do it. 6 miles. I mean, that's all mental in your head. You get talking a full marathon 26, that's a little different story. But even then, man, again, it's all mental. Like so you got 2 hours. I'm just going to be jogging for 2 hours. Okay. I could be sitting here scrolling Instagram for 2 hours.
Yeah. There's going to be 15 minutes that's going to suck where you're like, fuck this.
Yeah, man.
You're just in your own head.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
It's a mindset. Life. It's all a mindset,
How important is Mark Montoya to that mindset and stuff?
Oh,
anytime that he's in here, like, I literally want to kick down doors in here when he leaves, dude. Like, I just love being around that guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude, and he'll challenge you. He's not just, and he's so passionate, and he's just not like a sit by the wayside type guy. He's a take control and get after it type guy. And man, the biggest thing, he's gonna challenge you. And he's a great mentor. He's a guy
incredible.
Like, we're buddies. We're buddies. We're friends. And he always says, if we become friends, awesome. But it's not my job to be your friend. And that's what he takes very seriously too. He's not friends with everybody. If we become friends, cool. But I'm not gonna be your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. You got enough people telling you you're good at this and good at that. Right. He's a guy, if you're not at practice at 10 a.m. by 10:01, in fact 9:58, he's texting you like, where the hell are you? And it goes for anybody, man. It could be the guy amateur on the team who may never have a fight and is just kind of there to, the guy like myself, one of the top pros on the team. Like, he don't care. He's not an excuse guy, man. He is a show up and get it done and give it your all. You just show up, work hard, and be on time. And that's the motto at Factory X. Great dude, great mentor, a guy that just, very passionate and pushes you to be better.
Honestly, when I was going through like my weight loss thing, where I was just like, fuck, dude, I got to do something. Like, one, being on the podcast kind of held me accountable. I was like, dude, what am I doing? Like, I need to get my shit together. Like, I'm having pro athletes in and talking to these people. Like, I need to be in better shape. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, it was kind of an eye-opening thing. And then I had some not major health scares, but like heart disease runs in my family. So it was the first time I had went into the doctor and they're like, hey, we need to put you on some blood pressure medication. I was like, no, you don't. Like, I just decided, but like, he was one of the first people I called, and I was like, hey dude, this is what I want to do. Because I knew in my own mind, if I didn't hold myself accountable, I would look like a piece of shit in that guy's eyes, and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, he pushes you to do better, man. He certainly does.
Yeah, it's like different than drill sergeant mentality. It's like, you don't want to disappoint him.
That's 100%.
Yeah, right?
Man. Yeah.
That's the vibe I get every time he's in here. I'm like, shit, dude.
Yeah, some people, and I've said this before, some people think he's an asshole, man. And like, really? The thing he says.
I don't think he is. I think he's just truthful, dude.
That's the thing. It's like, hey, I'm not here to be your friend.
Yeah.
I'm here to make you better.
Wear it all on your skin, dude.
Yeah, so you got to have thick skin with him. And yeah, dude.
That's why I love having fighters in and veterans and active military dudes, because they are all the same sort of mindset. They will tell you when they don't agree with you. Like, you will tell me, like, if I say, hey, Dustin, I think you should do this, or I think that this is wrong, you go, no, I don't think so. You guys aren't afraid to be like,
yeah, you got it.
Hey, let's just go. Or like, today there's no like him-hawing of like, what should we do now? Or it's like, we just make decisions and fucking go, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's no time for any of that, right? And I feel like you get around normal people, not normal people, but just people that don't face any adversity in their life. And we kind of talked about this earlier today.
Right.
Like, one reason why I've gotten back into hunting is because I want my kids to face some adversity. I want them to see the value in a life. And I think that there's no better way to do that than sharing those moments in the backcountry, seeing a gigantic animal be field dressed and bleed out and butchered, and what you have to go through to like,
it's one
get
thing
'em
to kill him.
right?
Now you got to take that thing out.
Right.
You got to cut it up and take it out.
Yeah,
man. Adversity, hard times, struggles create the strongest people, the strongest fighters, the best people, man. You need just overcoming a little.
And
adversity.
it makes all the little bullshit in your life.
It should, man. Like, I think people should be able to headbutt and move on and get over it. You don't just headbutt. And then nowadays people are so salty and so soft and like so in their emotions.
And I want to hear the honest opinions of people.
Man,
like,
get
don't
out of your
fucking
emotions.
tell me what I want to hear.
Right?
Tell me when I do a bad job.
Yeah. And that's another thing I look up to Mark, man. Emotions make you weak. You can't get emotional around him. There's so many people get emotional, and he'll just eat you up. You think he gives a fuck about your emotions? No, tough up, take it on the chin, and moving on.
That should be any good coach. I don't care if you're coaching Little League football or whatever, man. There are some we are raising our kids in a soft-ass world
it's
now.
A fucking everybody gets a blue ribbon. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
When I was in grade school, I got a blue ribbon because I won.
Yeah.
You got a red ribbon because you got second. Like, that's just how it works. Not everybody gets a blue ribbon. Not everybody's gonna be able to do it. And guess what? They're gonna find your way.
Yeah.
Figure it out, right? You'll fit in where you get in. But not everybody's gonna just win and get this blue ribbon. And that's the problem with the society today. Mm-hmm. And I even see it with, and again, I don't have kids, man, so I can't talk on that. I see it with my friends who give in to their kids, or
Jeremy and I were just having this conversation last night. Like, some of these people that run our school boards,
oh geez,
they don't even have fucking kids, dude.
Oh geez.
So it's like, how can they understand?
Right.
You know, like, I don't want to go on a tangent, and I don't even want to bring this up on the podcast right now.
Do you want to get me fired up, dude? I got some shit to say.
Yeah, man. And rightfully so. You got kids, you got skin in the game, you can't. And that's nothing where I take it back. See, like, I've got my thoughts, but again, I don't have kids. I don't have skin in the game, so I'll leave my thoughts to myself.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
You gonna have kids?
So I wouldn't mind. My wife does not want kids, and for whatever, I think it's crazy. For whatever reason, I'm on board with it, though. You know, we've went this far. We're so busy. It's just not in the picture, and she is adamant. She wants no kids. So, you know, if it's in the cards, if it's meant to be, it'll be. I have so many people back home and close family and friends like, when are you guys gonna have a pup? Like, I need to see a kid of that, you know. And
well, you got one, right? Dak.
I got a legit pup. He's half dog, half human, as my buddy Cody Brundage always gives me shit about. He's like, dude, that dog, he is half human, man. He is our boy. He is our kid. And
shout out Cody. I need to get Cody in here.
Yeah, you should.
He seems like a cool dude.
Oh, Cody's a great dude,
I'd love to
man.
sit down with him.
Yeah. He's a cool dude. And yeah, he's learning right now. You know, he's struggling right now in his career, but he's in the UFC struggling at the highest level, and it's not going to be always easy. And I think that's why he looks up to me a lot too, because, you know, I've been through it. I always say I've been through it to get to it. And, you know, I've told him I've struggled in my career, and it hasn't all been, you know, fight night bonuses and big wins, 82-second knockouts. I mean, there's been some real struggles in there, but that's why I am where I'm at right now. Like I said earlier, struggles and adversity create the strongest fighters.
It's all that time in the forge, right?
Yeah, man. Forged in fire, man. I've always said that. I'm quite literally forged in fire. The Hanyak is forged in fire, and I'm forever grateful for that. You know, my lumps and my losses that I've taken, and my bruises and fat lips and L's on the record have all made me who I am today. And yeah, Cody's going through that right now, and he's a guy. Yeah, you should get his perspective. A little bit younger guy at a different point in his career. He'd be a great guy for the podcast, and I'm sure he'd love it.
Yeah, I'd love to have him in. So, Cody, if you're listening to this, hit me up. Dustin's got my number.
For
whatever,
sure.
yeah.
He will be.
Yeah, man. Like, I guess going through all this, like, you started, at a pretty young age. Like, what were you, 19, 20?
I was thinking I was probably 19 when I had my first MMA fight, amateur fight, but had my first pro fight at, 2010. I mean, 2021, I think was my first pro fight.
How much has your...
I had my first amateur fight at 18, but yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Like, thinking what I knew at 18 and, like, what I was into and, like...
Oh, man, it
was dangerous, huh?
Oh,
I would
dude,
imagine.
It's so dangerous because now... And I also thought I was so grown up and knew so much and was just all, high and mighty. And looking back, I mean, my niece, my twin brother's girl, she's going to be a junior. No, excuse me. She's going to be she's going to be a junior this year. And so she's probably at that age of my junior year, I was already feeling like I had it all figured out, right?
Everything.
I knew everything, but yet I look at her, I'm like, you are so young. Like, you have no idea.
Right.
And it's crazy.
And what's your youngest opponent you faced today? Like now?
Today, I think that kid I just fought was 31. Asma was 33. I've been facing.
Have you faced like a 20-year-old or?
You know what? I haven't. I've always kind of been the younger guy.
That's kind of that division too. Like the light heavyweight division always seems to be a little bit older dudes.
That is funny that you bring that up because I was thinking, I've never really fought the younger stud yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm 35. Everybody, I was always the younger stud, and then I got to the point where I was like the rookie and the vet, and then now I'm definitely the vet. So I've yet to face that young up and comer 24-year-old kid, where I was, 11 years ago.
Well, like that Chris Gutierrez fight. Was it Frankie Edgar that he fought?
Yeah. That was dope. I was there. So that was so
incredible
awesome.
fight for Chris.
So
but like, I was heartbroken a little bit for Frankie a little.
For sure.
I was like,
for
God,
sure.
dude, that's not a way to go out with your family there.
Oh,
and, like,
no.
I just felt bad for him. But how excited I was for Chris and then everything that the Factory X family had been through leading up to that.
Coach
with
had just found out he had cancer. Yeah.
That was so crazy, dude.
They were telling him.
That was such a high for like a high win, Like,
that was super cool.
That was super rad, but.
And so that was 1 week after the Khalil Roundtree fight.
Yeah.
So it was kind of bittersweet because I was coming out of the loss, but dude,
I went to New York.
Like,
I wish politics would get the fuck out of fighting, man, because it made me not a fan of Khalil.
Oh yeah, tell me about. And he just won this weekend. Yeah, me too.
I
man.
actually liked the guy before he fought you, and now I'm kind of like,
this
is
agree.
bullshit.
I
dude.
agree. And whatever.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring that up, but
Yeah.
it needed to be said. But I guess where I was going with this, and to bring it back a little bit, we're gonna wrap this up here pretty soon, dude. We've been at it for a little bit. I know that you're big on right now, and the amount of time that I've known you, like audiobooks. See, we were talking today. You're like, dude, I don't listen to podcasts, and I get it, dude. Like, when I want to learn something or be in a good headspace, or I don't, especially now that I've been podcasting, I don't let other podcasts influence me, I guess, because then you end up saying the same shit that somebody else did, right?
Yeah,
like kind of type of thing. But that's a whole different level of podcasting in my mind, and just how I am. I'm a big dumb guy. I'll repeat anything that I've heard, and sometimes it's not good. But like the mindset, so going into it at 18 or 19 years old, what was your mindset then? Like, I'm going to just fucking dominate and destroy everybody, and like that sort of type of
100%.
mindset. And now it's kind of, it seems like you are a very calculated fighter now. Like you know where you're at, you know what you're walking into. You are taking your level of preparation to the highest level. So when you do walk through that octagon door, there's no question that I could have done anything better, right? If you're going to bed every night at 8 o'clock, you're drinking that gallon of water, you're not having a cheat meal, you're not fucking slamming roids or anything like that, right? And so you know that when you walk through there, you are the best version of yourself, right? And that's kind of your mentality now. And I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but that's kind of what I'm hearing.
So, well, let me tell you, I know where you're going. Let me tell you the hardest part about the fighting is mental. It's so mental. You ask when I was an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid fighting, you don't know what you don't know.
What's rule number one? Party, right?
Bro. Well, and even when it comes down to fighting, you don't know what you don't know. So when I stepped in there, I thought of one thing: I'm gonna knock you out, 100%. I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
I don't think anything of it. I don't think of getting tired. You haven't been through these battles. You don't know what you don't know. Now, I feel like I've always been a calculated fighter, but when I was younger, I was a much more don't think, just go. Don't think, just go. You're going to knock them out. You're going to do exactly what you say. Go knock them out. Then you start going through these battles where you don't quite knock the people out, and now you're thinking too much. And you're going in there, and you're not thinking about just knocking this dude out and killing. And I think that's something Justin Gaethje does so well. So this is getting on a deeper level. Where every single time he fights, there's no consequence. It's straight. He's trying to fucking kill you. And that's how you have to be when you're the guy that, I was saying it earlier. My buddy was saying how I got the 50K. He made the joke. He's like, yeah, Gaethje gets that every single time. So we didn't have to talk about that because that's the type of fighter he is. It's 100% kill mode.
He's not fucking around.
He's not thinking. So, and that's how I was when I'm my best. I'm a killer. I don't think you're not so calculated. You just go, and then you're in the fight game so long, and you start thinking too much, and that is the downside of so many fighters, and in life in general. Life is 100% mental.
Yeah, if I overthink the podcast, like today, I was just kind of like, let's just hang out, and I'm not relating the two. It's totally different. Like, we didn't come in here with anything scripted. We spent all day together talking about many different subjects.
Yeah.
Having fun. And we've still hit this off like a fucking champ. Because
out of the
if you
park.
overthink it, you're going to fuck up, dude. Just let it go where it's going to go. For sure, man.
You just got to let it go. So, yeah, as you said, I think I've always been calculated. But when I was younger, it was so easy because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't have any worry. I was like, one thing on my mind. I'm not worried about getting tired. I'm not worried about losing. I'm going to knock you out. That's all I care about. That's all I'm thinking about. And you just, like I said, the more you get into it, the more you start thinking. Just turn the brain off and go, man. And I feel like that's what's done me really well here as of late. And, the Khalil fight, when you lose that fight, you start thinking so much. And I think that fight after that, I'd lost a lot of confidence. And I started worrying about my opponent. And I started worrying about this and that. And I started worrying about getting knocked down. I started worrying about losing. I started thinking too much, man. Well, what happened to, okay, I got one job to do. That's knock a motherfucker out. What happened to that? Go do that.
Yeah. And I think that this whole new, it's great that you got 50 G's, but like the fight bonus has made the sport that much more exciting, I think, as a spectator. But then you get all these guys like starting to try to, not only are they trying to go in and win a fight, they're trying to do like a spinning back fist or a spinning back kick or a fucking spinning elbow.
Trying to be exciting.
They're doing some exciting shit, right? Like that's kind of part of the sport now.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go in there like Corey Sandhagen did with his last fight. No disrespect. I love Corey,
for sure,
right?
100%.
And did he make the right move there? Yeah.
Hell, he
think
won.
He probably did.
Won.
That's a W, dude.
Yeah,
like,
W's W.
That was a tough opponent too for Corey, like.
Yeah, Rob Font's
But
dangerous,
was that
bro.
exciting?
Rob Font can knock you out.
Yeah.
You make one mistake, you're getting knocked out. Did the fans hate it? Yeah. Did they love it? No. And it was cool. Corey and I were in the same locker room.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude. So we were the last two in there, right before I fight. He's like, hey, go get it done. I'm like, hey, you too, man.
He seems like an all right guy, too.
Yeah, he's always been cool. I've always been cool with Corey, and he was disappointed after that because I remember I got done. I was on my excitement. I'm in the back doing interviews.
You stole the smoke.
Yeah, right. So and I got asked to be on the ESPN desk, so I'm waiting for him to come out, and he finally comes out. I'm like, hey man, you got it done, good fight. He's like, yeah, it wasn't as cool as yours, but a win's a win. And he's right, man. Like sometimes you got to go in there and do what you got to do to win. And also he had a tore his tricep, I believe.
Oh, was that before the fight?
I think like in the first round.
Okay.
I think it was an old injury that he said.
Wow.
So that plays a role too, man.
That's
that
huge.
People don't realize. And
like,
a crowd.
didn't you have a fight where you went out and you had a leg injury or some shit?
It's the night I fought 3 fights in one night, and I broke my leg in one of the fights and finished the tournament. Still won the tournament, but had a broken leg, man. Yeah, adrenaline's a hell of a drug because when that fight was done, I could barely walk.
Bro, I went to. Do you know Scott Parker? The Parkers
yeah.
We had Scott in, and they're promoting this new flight league, Ice Wars.
Okay,
so I went up to Wyoming, like the Outlaw Saloon there or some shit, dude, and watched Chris Lockhart.
Okay.
was fighting for I don't know if you know Chris, but
I know Chris. Yeah.
But anyways, it was a hockey fight, and it's like
He was
3
just on the
2-minute.
podcast.
Yeah.
What a great guy, man.
Chris Lockhart.
Yeah. he
Yeah,
was a
good dude. Great dude.
So we did a podcast with him, but I went up and watched him fight, and this is fight in full hockey gear, and you fight like 5 rounds. If you make it to the main event, you fought like 5 times that night,
Okay.
and it was full on.
That's awesome.
Crazy, dude. Yeah, it was kind of nuts, and I was just thinking back, like when the UFC started, or the Ultimate Fighter, or whatever it was called, Ultimate Fighting Championship back then. That's how it was. It was a tournament fight, so you were fighting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in a night, right, to make it to that title shot.
And let me tell you this. So as a guy, I've fought in 6 different times. I've fought in tournaments. 4 times I've won the whole thing. And 5 times I've won a fight in the tournament. So amongst those tournaments, a couple were 2-man, 4-man tournaments, and several were 8-man tournaments where you're fighting 3 fights in a night. And while it is hard, let me explain this, man. So we were just talking earlier. It's the highest of highs and lowest of lows. When you win, you feel like the man. The cool thing about a tournament is when you win your first fight, you go back to the back, and now you're a winner, and you can't wait to walk back. It's almost as if the night gets easier, especially if you're a guy like me that really builds off the swag, and you got confidence, and
Is it like that gladiator kind of vibe?
In a sense of what, like?
Well, you know, like when they were just like dudes against dudes and piling guys against one guy.
Stacking bodies.
Yeah, stacking bodies. Oh, yeah, man. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah.
You've got them all behind you, and you walk up to the next level, and you're like,
well,
you're next.
Oh,
Jeremy,
absolutely,
can you do
dude.
me a favor? Can you give me some ice?
Yeah, hook my man up. Oh, he needs some ice and a little bit of the drink, right?
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
So no, yeah, dude, it's exactly like that. Like when you win the fight, you feel like the man, and you're like stacking bodies. Like you can't wait to go again. Like okay, so when you win, you're just at the highest of high, right? Well, now guess what? You're gonna go fight another guy in 30 minutes. Oh, I am. Okay, let me fight 10. I'll fight 10 guys, right?
Who cares?
I don't care. But when you lose, you're like, if they were to ask you to go out there and fight again, I bet you're not going out there with that same confidence. I bet you're not going out there with that same swagger. Although, back to Brian Foster, let me give a huge shout out. Yeah. That first World Series of Fighting tournament, the PFL, where he fought for the $1 million, didn't get a fight for the $1 million, but he made it to the championship. Just never got a fight for the actual fight. That tournament, it was a 4-man tournament. That's back when PFL made you fight your fight to get into the finals. So 2 fights in a night. He fights the number 1 seed and loses. It's a badass fight. Goes back and forth. He ends up getting caught in a submission. Gets to the back. So he's done. However, the first loser, if one of the winners can't advance in the tournament, they go and take the first loser if he's healthy.
Oh, no shit.
So one of the winners that won that night. So Foster lost the fight, out of the tournament. In the back, pissed off. Yeah, there's a chance you can fight 9 times, 10, almost 10 out of 10 times. That's never happening. Yeah. Guy wins that night, and he can't advance, and Foster replaces him. He goes back out there, beats dude, like first round knockout, no big deal. Goes back out there for the final fight and fights the guy that beat him the first fight. And ends up having another fucking insane fight, back and forth fight that he ends up winning, ends up TKOing the guy in the 3rd round. So they fought 6 rounds that night. He's the only guy that I know, and I know him personally, my best friends, that fought and lost, gets brought back into a tournament, fights and wins, and then he fights again against the guy that that first beat him, and he beat him. And it was so badass. So it's easy to go back out there when you win. To lose your first fight and then to go back out there and beat 2 dudes, that says something about you, and that's why I'll forever look up to Brian Foster, and I know how bad of a motherfucker that dude is. Shout out to Brian Foster. I love that dude. And again,
what's he doing now?
So, bro,
is he coaching? Or?
Yeah, he's coaching. He's got his back in Oklahoma. Arkansas, lives right on the border. I think he lives in Oklahoma. His gym's in Arkansas. It's a little 8-mile gap or whatnot. He's got 4 boys. His oldest boy is
Thank you, Jeremy.
And mind you, I knew these boys. I saw one of them be born, and I knew these boys when they were knee high to a duck's ass. Like they were coming into a gym. They were tiny. They were knee high to a duck's ass. They were tiny, man. They were in diapers.
Wow.
And the oldest boy is a professional MMA fighter, badass. He came to Foster took him to my fight in Nashville, and
awesome.
showed up on a whim. I saw him there on fight night. He's like, I brought Alex here because I want him to see. My first UFC fight was when Brian Foster beat Matt Brown and got a submission of the night victory, and I made my pro debut 1 week later. And Brian brought his son, who's like 1 or 2-0 pro right now, to my fight because he wanted him to see the UFC. He wanted him to see where he belonged. And to see that full circle come around, dude, that was just that's special.
Incredible.
Because I remember that kid, little kid, and then his baby was in diapers, and he coaches those guys. He's got a whole team that all look up to him. That he is the fucking leader. Like they were like, he's a guy you want to make proud. He's a guy I love in my corner.
Right?
He's a guy I love in my corner because he makes me feel like if shit hit the fan, coach is the same way. If shit hits the fan, we're all in. You know, if your corners jump in, like we're riding and dying all night long, and we're whooping your ass too.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's that type of guy, man. And fuck, I love him so much. So it's easy to go out there and fight in a tournament when you win, but to go out there and lose your first fight and then win the next two is
crazy.
Dude,
that's a whole other level,
oh,
right?
Bro, it's unheard of. Again, you can't live by your emotions. You win a fight, it's an emotional roller coaster. You're up here, you lose a fight, you're down here, man. To be in a tournament, you got to stay even keeled, man. You got to just be in the moment the entire time.
Yeah. It was crazy having Scott Parker in made me realize how much hockey, not anymore, but back in the day, how much those guys fought. You know,
yeah,
you
he
fight,
was the sheriff.
3 or 4 times a year or something like that,
ish,
right?
yeah,
something like that. Dude, he was fighting like 100 and some fights.
Yeah,
and I mean, they're not like as long of rounds, but this is on fucking ice, dude. Like
Ice Wars, yeah.
It was crazy, man. Like that guy is such a savage, dude. Like he autographed.
Dude, your hands. What happens to your hands?
Yeah, I mean,
You're punching helmets.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
well, he told us a story. He used to wrap chains around his hands and shit, and go box trees.
No shit.
To make his knuckles
Hardcore.
tougher for bare knuckle, right? Because you're going bare knuckle. You're throwing the fucking gloves off.
Yeah.
Your wrists aren't wrapped or anything, dude. Like.
He's playing. So he's playing hockey just to fight. I love it.
That was his deal. Was the enforcer.
Yeah, but he was good too. That was the other thing.
No doubt.
Yeah. Did you read the picture he autographed for us back there? So he gave us a picture of him like holding up the Stanley Cup, or his wife did. Shout out to the whole family. It's fucking awesome. DJ,
Kill them all.
Miss Parker. Yeah. So that's how he signs it. Kill them all. Bobby.
Kill 'em all, baby. That's awesome.
He's a savage, but yeah, just thinking back. So
yeah, but just thinking about like playing a season and how your hands must feel through the entire season. Like your most basic utilitarian.
That's everything.
Like, what
and
the fuck?
yeah,
dude? Like
I get it.
The thing
Yeah.
that you're just walking around with are always in pain. Holy shit!
I've always said the worst thing
that.
the worst thing to injure your fingers or hands.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they're hard to come back
or
from.
feet,
Man.
right?
Yeah,
like, so long to heal.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So yeah, that tournament thing is just a whole nother. So mad respect to.
Well, that was the thing for Chris to like show up and be like, "What am I doing? I play hockey. I bare knuckle, like whatever. Sign me up." And like he just starts throwing fists at helmets. Like it's crazy. What a madman.
Yeah,
that's badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How long was it before he got called up?
Who's that?
Chris. Yeah, I mean, it was a couple of weeks out, right?
Lockhart? Oh, yeah. It was a short notice.
Yeah.
Short notice deal to go do the Ice Wars thing or whatever like that.
That's cool. Man,
that was the
Lockhart,
next level.
I got a good story about Lockhart, man. When he first came into the gym, and he had to train with Kamosi and I and Adam Strew.
That's right. He actually shouted you out on the podcast.
Yeah. He came into a murderer's row. Like we had some big guys, and
dude, he's fucking cool, man.
Oh, bro,
Awesome.
I tell you what, he made the most improvement, bro. I remember sparring him, and like he was fragile. You had to be so careful, right? And of course, like he's going with like high level guys. Like imagine being the new guy. I was that guy. I remember being that guy. But Chris was a little soft per se. And this is not a diss. I've told him this. It's amazing what he became after.
I wouldn't say it
Bro,
to his face.
2 years of training with that guy, you should see the improvement he made and how like I literally watched it amongst my eyes.
What a humble
watch
dude,
him
too,
transform
man.
into
like,
a beast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think he'd admit that too.
Oh no, he would admit
Yeah.
that, and he knows. Like it was so cool to see with my own eyes. Like when I first sparred him, it's like, dude, you're gonna have to get tougher, and he did, and he's still doing it. And to going from he was basically a punching bag to a guy that was really pushing you back, it was like, okay, man, to see the improvement. So one of the biggest improvements I've seen in a guy that I've trained with. So that was really cool.
That's awesome.
And
He's
again,
in Thailand now, right?
is he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. And again, he had no easy rounds. He was a big guy, so he got thrown to me, Kamosi, Adam Stroop. Like he's going against tough guys who are already
that
developed.
weight and height, you're stepping into the lion's den.
Oh,
no
buddy,
matter what.
he stepped in the lion's den, and you know what? He walked away, came back leading the pack. So kudos
That's
to him,
awesome,
man. And a great dude. I love Lockhart, man. Great guy, very very nice guy. Means well. Give you the shirt off his back. Would never talk shit behind your back. Good dude.
Yeah, he was great to have in here. It's awesome person to talk to.
Totally.
Just like thankful, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a great
And I know
person.
how much he looks up to me and has over the years. And yeah, man, there's a mutual
Well,
respect.
I think you got a lot of guys that do, right? I mean,
Yeah,
being
oh,
in
for
this as
sure.
long as you have, you're cornering. Like, I know that you're focused on your UFC career right now, but we've kind of talked briefly about like maybe doing some other stuff outside of it. Like, do you have anything going on right now outside of it, or you
Man, I
just
really
kinda,
don't. I mean,
It's hard to, right?
it is golf.
Professional
Yeah.
golfer.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping I can make
You and
this-
John
the
Daly
senior
would be a
PGA.
fucking badass
we'd
team,
be the
dude.
Bash Brothers, man.
I'll come drive
We'd
your
be
cart.
quite
I'll
the
be your
duo.
valet. I'll be
We'd
the
be-
first golf valet.
we would need one.
Yeah.
John Daly and I would need one.
Professional driver.
No doubt, man. But yeah, I would really like to parlay this career into some commentating. I think we talked earlier. I need
Yeah.
to do more. I get asked about these podcasts all the time, and I don't take full advantage of them like I should. And yeah, man, I'd like to parlay that into commentating. I remember even after my last fight, got asked to get on the ESPN desk post show, which I thought was really cool and a true honor. And coach is standing right there, and I was getting on with Anthony Smith and
Yeah, hell
and,
yeah. And he's
Dean
back
Thomas.
in town, right?
Yeah, he's back. He's back in town,
Fuck
and
yeah.
I remember Coach right there. He's like, "Hey, I want you to take this in because I remember the first time he got asked to do this, and he was pointing at Anthony, and
Oh,
he
no
just got a
shit.
full-time position by ESPN as a commentator. He's a salaried employee,
That's awesome.
full-time.
Good
So
for him.
yeah, and he's been doing the commentating gig for like 3 or 4 years, and ESPN just signed him full-time.
He's good at it.
Yeah, he's really good at it. And so Coach was like, "Hey, man, you want to do it?" He's like, I was here his very first time he got asked to do this. He's like, and you're following right in the footsteps. So I'm hoping that it leads to something like that. I just got to continue, putting
I know
myself
what
in the
you're
fire.
focused
and
on right now, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
got to be in the back of your mind. So,
It is,
yeah.
man. I think, like I said, if I could parlay, and I got the gift of gab. I'm good at shooting the shit.
You are, dude. I love having you in here. I had a
It-
blast with you today. Like, I feel like we haven't stopped, honestly.
I know, yeah. It's just I'm easy going, and yeah, you put a mic in front of my face, we can just
We
keep
could have
it rolling.
recorded the whole fucking day, and it would have been a
It would have
9-hour
been epic, bro.
podcast.
Because there's stuff we talked about earlier that we wanted to get on here that who knows if it's gonna make it or not. But we just go, yeah, we could talk about anything.
Well, it's
man. I'll have
funny
to get on
sitting at the
again.
bar at lunch. You were like, "Fuck, what are we going to talk about now?" And like,
I agree.
2 hours has been by. So
Has it been two?
Yeah.
Damn. I remember sitting there like, damn, what are we gonna say here? We've already talked about everything, but
Yeah, I was worried about that. I kind of know because I've done this before where I've done like, I honestly think it's the best way to do a podcast. If you have the time to spend 6 or 7 hours with somebody and to go do something outside of here, like you almost form a bond outside of here.
totally,
And then you come in and it's like having somebody in for their second or third time.
for sure.
It just goes so much smoother.
Yeah.
Like the first one, you're just kind of feeling each other out. People are a little nervous maybe their first time, like there's some lights and cameras
yeah,
in your
man.
face.
This is a
and,
cool
like,
studio too. It's quite the upgrade. I remember the first time was this little like shoebox.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like basically right in each other's face. I was like, hold on. On camera, it looks like you guys are in like this big room. He's
Yeah, those are
"No,
like
this
GoPro
is
wide
it."
angle cameras. I looked a lot fatter on camera then.
Hey man, yeah, I told you when I first saw him, like, damn, you're looking lean, man.
Yeah,
So
it's
you've
crazy
lost like
'cause-
60 pounds?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not really watching the scale.
Okay.
So-
you look much leaner. That's one of the first
I'm
things I
definitely
commented on.
much leaner. So I've
Good for you,
so
man.
I think I lost like 70 pounds originally,
Okay.
but a lot of that was muscle mass too, just because I lost it too fast, man. Like it worked, but I fucking lost it too fast. So now I'm in that struggle where I'm putting mass back on and keeping body fat down. I'm definitely doing that. So now I'm just, trying to balance it, man.
Awesome, man.
But yeah, it's been a tough
you're
road.
Sleep and water. Sleep and water.
Water, yeah. Moderation on just whatever, dude.
Anything,
and fucking get out there and enjoy life, man. Like,
Totally.
It's made me enjoy life so much more, like I'm more athletic against my kid. My goal is, to stay ahead of my son, right? Like, you don't ever want your son to kick your ass.
Hell no.
Like,
Yo,
Hell no.
I
hear
yo,
that.
Right?
I have my 15-year-old just like grip me up yesterday, and I'm like, "The fuck was that? Dude, what was that? Holy shit!" He grabbed a hold of my shoulder, and it was like a claw.
Yeah.
Grabbed into me, and I was like, and he didn't even mean it.
you got to quit sending him to jiu-jitsu, or you need to start
Or
rolling.
you need to start. Yeah, you can't ever let the sun.
Don't let him outbelt you, bro. Like,
Dude, it was just like, "Hey, good morning."
Yeah.
He grabbed my shoulder, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this thing going?" Like, oh no, he's got me beat.
That's
yeah,
funny,
I got
man.
a few
Yeah.
years on my kids, so
You got to make sure you stay ahead of the
it's
boy.
really about being around for them in the future. You know
can't
what
buy
I mean?
guns
for a couple
Around in the
years.
future. So yeah, I appreciate you taking that and taking notice, man. But it's been a while since I seen you. I think the last time, we can go back and look at the photo. I was probably a fat fuck still back then. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's out there. I guarantee.
Yeah,
it's
somewhere.
Out there. You look hard enough, you'll find it.
right. But yeah, and we've grown here, man. And I always appreciate you coming in. I love having you every time that you're in. And so thank you, bro, for hanging out with me
Yeah,
today.
no
I
doubt,
had a
man.
fucking blast shooting 100 yards and we shot
Love it, bro.
Dude,
some badass
assassin,
targets.
right?
And yeah.
I had so much fun, and it's got me fired up for the season. That's another cool thing. We go to the Evergreen Golf Course for lunch right after we get done shooting. I've got my Hoyt hat on, and I think it was multiple people that had brought it up. But this guy sitting next to me, he's like, "Oh, Hoyt, you guys, you a bow hunter?" And so we start talking
There's a
about
lot
our
of
morning,
bow hunters up
and
there.
he's fired up, and
Yeah.
you can just see it. Instagram poster flare. My brother's had a couple out there. Shout out to my brother. He's a bow hunter, and he's only been on 2 elk hunts.
I'd love to meet you, bro.
And he's put down 2 trophy bulls, one in Montana, one in Oregon, I believe. He's headed to Montana and Idaho here at the end of the month for 16 days. And so I called him up, and I can show you my phone. He texted me, I don't know, 10 different pictures
Yeah.
of talking equipment. He's like, "Man, I wish you'd come here for 1 month. I'd get you dialed in, or 1 week, excuse me, get you dialed in on
You
the boat."
should, man. If you got time, go fucking do it.
I know,
dude.
man.
Like, those times, you might never get that back.
I agree.
Like, you got to fucking take
And I've
those
been trying to
moments.
get his ass out here. I'm like, "Bro, you got to come out here in Colorado. We need to
Bring
go
him
chase
out.
some elk."
Let's go shoot.
in
I want to meet
Colorado.
your brother. You speak highly of him. And
Yeah, I want him
fucking-
on this podcast
yeah.
to talk. He's a journeyman
go.
lineman. Works for Ameren. He's climbing the poles and
Dude,
working
what a
for
madman!
Oh,
Those are the gnarliest dudes.
Hell yeah, man! And he absolutely loves his job. He loves the thrill. So he got into cage fighting before I did, and he is just that type of person. He's got the
That's
bad boy
right.
tatted on the side of him.
That's what got you into cage fighting.
yeah, he
right?
got
You're-
me into it.
You
And
thought
so
you were going to like a street fight or something, right?
Yeah,
You showed up and it was an MMA.
yeah, he
fucking fight.
he put me in. Yeah, he's like, "Hey man," he was like talking shit. I was like, "Oh, I knocked that dude out." Next thing you know, he signed me up on the card.
That's awesome.
But he's a thrill seeker, man. He loves climbing those poles, playing with them high volts. I'm like, he'll send me pictures. He's in a bucket like 100 feet up in the air. I'm like, "Bro, don't send me that shit." Or he'd be climbing a pole like hundreds of feet up in the air. I'm like, "Dude, get off your phone." Like, I don't want to see that shit, man. And yeah, so he's
That's awesome. I want to talk to him about hunting. He's a hell of a hunter. I've been following
bro.
him on Instagram for a couple of years now.
yeah. Pull up his Instagram here.
Hang
I'll
on,
show
what is
you.
it?
So it'd be D-Jack.
Does he want us to share it because it is private? I know.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
know.
he'd share it.
Okay.
I don't know if you could pull it up, if you can get through mine. DJAC.
You're on YouTube. You got to go to
Oh
Instagram.
shit! What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck? Hang on a second. Amateur hour here.
So I told him, my brother's funny too. I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to get you on this podcast, D-Jack, and we're going to talk about what you do for a living and for hunting."
We got to get you on some other podcasts
And-
too, man. So like,
He's like, "I don't know if I'm ready for that." Let me see here. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's that bottom one right there.
I know that we follow him.
Right. Nope. Right below it. Keep going low. Keep going
D-Jack
low.
Gaming.
Yeah, right. No, it's D-Jack right there. Line here.
Oh shit! Yeah, see it down here,
Oh,
Jeremy, at the
down
very
there, I
bottom.
see.
Yeah.
Boom.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we'll pull his up. He's got a couple pin. Well, look, his
Dude,
last
what
3
a
posts.
Fucking animal.
So
Where is he?
he lives in Illinois.
All right.
And those are 3 pinned right there.
Christ.
Those
Look
are
at
put down. That one's countless hours of preparation through hard work and dedication made another dream of mine come true. Packing out my first Rocky Mountain outcome, my youngest daughter's 3rd birthday, is a memory I'll cherish for the rest of my days. Until next year, Montana.
Incredible,
Montana,
man.
fucking
That
pull
was
up,
the
dude.
Montana.
What a
That was the
mad
first
bag.
one he killed. And then last year, I think he got one in Oregon or maybe Idaho, which would have been.
I love the one with the flask in the bowl, dude.
So
Like,
pull,
that's
so pull that one
dope.
up. This is his latest post. Dying for a pack out. Just a couple more weeks. So,
yeah.
dude, keep it
Let's
like
go.
he's fired up, dude. He loves it, dude.
That gets me fired up.
Oh, bro, juices
Like-
are flowing. That's his 3 girls. That's him
Holy
again.
shit, man.
He's the lineman.
What a fucking madman.
Yeah, dude.
Shut up.
Pigeons don't fly at the same altitude. So, and then shout out to his daughter too. That's
Oh,
his
he's a
garage.
Matthews guy too.
Oh
huh?
yeah, he's a Matthews
Fuck yeah,
guy.
we can talk.
So
we can hang out.
Well, he saw my video of you shooting at that hill, off the hill. He's like, must be a Matthews guy. That bow's quiet.
That's funny because I was talking shit. I wasn't talking shit, but I was like, man, your bow is loud today.
So that was one of my first big wins in the UFC. That's
Hell
when I won, and someone captured that photo. I think we were both in tears right there, just happy.
Fuck yeah, as you should be, dude.
My
That's
brother would tell me what I did wrong.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'd love to have him
Holy
on.
shit, man.
I want
How
real
cool.
fucking people on this podcast.
Fuck
so
yeah,
like,
dude. Well, he's a real one.
like don't. That's
Read
where
the
I'm
caption
at with it.
there. That was hilarious. It says confidence, cockiness, Jacoby luck, all 3 race through these veins. Oh, I
That's
love it.
awesome.
Get
Was
fired
that a
up.
75-yard shot or something?
Yeah,
you were
that was a
telling me about?
75-yard chip shot. I hit him.
Fuck
He's
yeah.
like, bro, 75 yards. He was out by himself, called it in. I'm like, dude, you're an animal.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Dustin, man, it's been a fucking awesome day, dude. We got to wrap this up. I need to let you get back to your life. I don't want to get in trouble with your wife.
Yeah, totally. No,
and
man,
I got a
for
football
sure.
scrimmage to go to. I'm going to be doing a little bit of coaching here in a minute. So,
Okay, yeah, that's
so I'm
awesome,
going to get
man.
the kids fired up, and yeah. So
More power
Cheers,
to you.
brother.
Cheers, my man.
This has been awesome.
Today, it was a great day.
incredible. We got to do it again.
There's good
like,
days and great
podcasts or
days.
not, like, let me know. Let's fucking hang out. Let's go up there. Let's get some of the other boys up there that want to go up. Vince, if you're listening to this.
Yeah, Vince
Coach.
Bichelle, I saw that. Kamosi, too.
Kamosi, Wolf, fucking.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to do that
Let's go.
again, and sooner than later.
Yeah,
For sure.
Let me know.
I wanna
Let's
get-
go
I will.
fucking tomorrow.
Okay. Shit. Oh, I'm golfing tomorrow. I got a 740
Okay.
tee time,
All
and then
right.
I got to do something with my wife tomorrow, man. She's we got to.
I got you.
I've been out all day, every day, so.
I hear you. Yeah, that is my tea times, is going up there and all that. So, yeah, dude, you're welcome anytime, man. I had a blast with you today. And, yeah, wishing you the best of luck. Real quick, before we jump off, Instagram, websites, anything you got going on you want to plug?
Yeah, you can just follow me at what is it, the Hanyak DJ. That's on Instagram. Post here and there. My stories is where I really update people. I'll put a story up, like you said. That's my living in the moment. I don't do a lot of posts, but I'll put a story up, kind of let you know what I'm up to. My team at Factory X, my management company, Iridium Sports Agency. Those guys are awesome. Landow Performance. We didn't even get to talk about Landow's.
Fuck, dude, we didn't talk about Lauren.
But we'll
We
definitely
talked
get-
about it at lunch. So
Yeah,
we'll
we talked
get
about
it in
that
on the
lunch,
next one.
man. Lauren
Love
Landau.
those guys.
Yeah, shout out
Love
to those
them.
guys over at
Oh.
Landau's. The best.
Eric
Anybody
Tilley,
who's
shout out.
anybody. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Anybody who's anybody in the Denver area wanting to be a better athlete. We were talking earlier. Those guys, they can train. They train athletes, man.
It's
They
unbelievable.
teach speed. I know firsthand. I've been going there since August of 2014, so almost 10 years, man. I've just been a better athlete because of those guys. And Lauren Landau is an incredible individual.
That's
You know,
a hot part of the forge, huh?
Oh, buddy, yeah, dude. I love that guy, and I know he thinks very highly of me, and the feeling's very mutual, and a lot of respect between the two. So, great guy, but and yeah, man, pretty basic, man. Until next time, bro. Cheers. It's been a great day.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
It's been
thank you,
incredible.
bro.
Yeah, let's go. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Jeremy, thank you for being here. See ya.
Boom. Appreciate you, Jeremy.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. Also, if you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.